is, and kelar is starting with Goth? Ui. They are using a throwaway matchup for the one without Viper, perhaps. Goth Italians and Lithuanians use Stone Canyon Lakes for the Germans.
And it might be a payoff, like Slavs, Georgians, and Japanese. That is some powerful civs to go up against with arguably some of your weakest civs. So I think even if Germany loses this, they're going to be fine with it because of how well it's going to set them up for the rest of the set.
So at least in throwing away game 1, they are learning from Germany B?
It is interesting to see if you do a full like eco round or if you try to mix in the eco civs with some of the more powerful civs here and there. But I mean, Brazil wants to get a strong start. I think there's something to be said about trying to start off the set very strong. Like, yeah, you'll have worse civs for the rest of the set, but like you have a 1-0 lead, right? At the end of the day, all that matters is what's on the scoreboard. So
I would disagree with that. I would also disagree with Ganji doing a hot take here. I think after so much rage baiting by him, that's the coldest take he's ever put in my chat. It says if Brazil loses this one, it's 3-0 Germany guaranteed.
It'd be pretty shocking if Germany takes this one. But you can never count out the legends of Terz and ShiXo. Kelar is just going to be carried by them.
I'm trying hard not to comment or get PMs by ShiXo again.
I was wondering if you're going to make a joke.
Yeah, I had myself back.
But all right, if you want to start us off,
I'm doing 2 names. So.
Oh, yeah, names. I guess that's a good point. Pool A decider. Brazil. Ledger. Bruh. All right. Start at 0 or live time.
I can do 0.
All right. Do you want to start us off?
3, 2, 1. Welcome to Germany A versus Brazil group for the battle for the top spot in Group A. We've got Germany A led by kelar with the Goth flank. Then we've got Terz with a Lithuanian pocket and ShiXo with an Italian flank.
And for Brazil, we have Bruh playing the Japanese as a flank, the pocket of GoKu playing the Slavs, and Fire playing the Georgians on the other flank. Let's see if there's any eco kills right at the start, but so far it looks like it's pretty solid. We might see one. No, the Hussar does get taken down.
And, it was semi-clump for ShiXo, whose Terz is still alive, but will get doinked out by the Step Lancers. And holy, Georgians versus Goths in the south. That is the most terrible matchup in the whole wide world for the Goths. Step Lancers counter them already, and then Grenadiers make it even worse.
Yes. ShiXo did manage to pick off a Vil, so, you know, making a nice little play there. So you're the lowest skilled player in your opinion. Managed to get a nice little start.
I didn't say that. You said that. That was your exact words. The question you asked me after was just for being on a team with him being a downside. That might also be for other reasons than his skill.
All right. Well, meantime, yeah, the Goth spam has pretty much immediately stopped. Terz losing 2 villagers early on as well, but strong castle play from the Italians on the north side. It's going to be a little bit harder to push into that, so protects the villagers for ShiXo.
ShiXo, but, the only German with a even, well, I guess kelar is 0-0. kelar is being ignored, right? They're just double rushing the pocket here. Fire going also for... No, Fire is there 3-1ing ShiXo. Fire is rushing the other side with Genoese crossbomber and castles up. That's not working. Like, for being kind of triple rushed here, ShiXo is looking quite good. The triple siege workshop. Not that many barracks, but I guess they can only make pikemen since he didn't want to rush much against the Japanese with condos. Makes sense. Lots of care matches for
all the Georgians And with all the church and step lancers going elsewhere, I mean, Keller's getting a nice engagement into Fire's space. There's a lot of Goth infantry here and not a lot in defense for Fire. So here come the units from GoKu.
And there's only Halberdiers from GoKu. That's not very helpful versus Goth either. What are the Presades doing? Fire! Absolute coma here with like sending all his units away, and then Halberdiers against Goth is really not the unit the Pocket should be helping you with. Slav Pocket as well is like an idea of the century. Not exactly the greatest idea though.
Yeah, and ShiXo is now starting to get a little bit pressured here. Has a massive amount of Cav archers stopping him in the back. So he's losing villagers left and right. Castle does get denied. And the push from the front is going to come in from Bruh with once he starts adding in those Japanese Trevs. It's going to be pretty dangerous. But I mean, really, it's going to be a big question of, can the Slav, Jurchen, Mir the team beat the Goths? Which is a very weird sentence to speak.
The answer should be yes, 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 and yes, but apparently it's no. Grenadiers are at least out, and siege launchers are at least out. If you're going to help against a Goth, why is GoKu not even making champions? I can't compute. But Bruce trying to carry with his Cav archers did find 10 eco kills on his side. Terz now coming to help out with the Goth and to try to attack Firespace, whose buildings will regenerate, so you need to fully kill them.
Yeah, I mean, at least some of the siege is getting sniped by the step launchers of Fire, but I mean, we see Boyars being mixed in, so it's going to be Boyar Halberdier and some siege from GoKu. But, like, I don't think that's really enough. And I mean, we have a forward castle from the Goths, we have Trevs starting to pressure their base, and, like, Keller looking really strong here into probably the worst matchup we've seen in this entire tournament. So, I don't really know how that's going to go. I mean, the question then is going to be, can
Jinbos can hold kind of fine against everything besides the siege launchers, I guess, or that Brew is throwing there. She's actually called Bruno and not an emote. So the Jinbos can probably hold that side long enough, and if the double pressure can do something against Fire, Brazil might be in big trouble for the series.
Yeah, it's one of the disagreements I've had with both you and Keller is I think Italians are a little bit more underrated in team games purely because Genbos are so good in certain situations. And if you're just trying to pressure with only Cav archers, you can it's not going to be great, but you can hold off a little bit longer than I think some of the other civs could. They're not going to make any progress here, but if your team's doing such good progress on the bottom side, all you really need to do is just spam Genbos and try to hold off the Cav archers and Trebs. So, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of part of the Slav pocket, though. Having siege launchers in the pocket makes it a lot harder for the Italians. But still, Goth units in Firespace. Castles at the front have all gone down. Castles at the back will also go down. We don't have much of building back yet. There's 2 TCs that are being interrupted by some Huskarls as well. 3 villagers at the very back. Fire is in big trouble, even though he has such a strong civilization. I guess it's an easy one. He made castles too early, I feel like, and did not have enough army. Then obviously trying to attack ShiXo didn't work out at all for him. And now his base is in, well, it's basically destroyed. We've got 8 trebuchets for Keller.
I think it's just mostly the fact that GoKu just with Boyar, but mostly Halberdiers, right? Like, you throw in Slav champions here and it should be pretty straightforward. I mean, Germany A has almost double the military, has slight lead in eco, better map control. ShiXo's pushed back the castle, so, you know, it's making a little bit of progress there, but, you know, ShiXo, like we said, doesn't really need to do much, just needs to make sure that he doesn't fold under Bruh and the random siege launchers that are sent his way.
The Captain killed the TC.
Can hold on to that.
And Turfux pointed out, TC goes down for Fire too. Keller's Goth Capdram. But now the Slavs finally have some army out. The Boyars are doing okay against the infantry still. And people are asking what Slav pocket can make. They can have a captain that doesn't put them in pocket is the best option. And I guess the second best option here would have been like champions into Boyar with the SO that are finally arriving. The SO should help a lot, but they're playing SO on both sides right now. That is really hard. Genbos are fighting against Cav archers.
We do have Terz taking the pond in the middle and having 2 canny galleons out. One is ranging some random eco from GoKu, so keep an eye on that, but a little bit of nice map control in the middle
nice
there.
Nice dodge by ShiXo. Switching the SO versus Genbos in the north. One castle falls for ShiXo though, so a little bit of pushing for Brew. And they maybe are stabilizing in the south for Brazil. Keller seems a bit pushed back now. Has
They
completely
definitely
run
have
out of
stabilized.
resources. No food, no gold whatsoever for the Ghosts anymore.
Yeah, this is. I think they had a chance and just weren't able to do enough damage. And now, by virtue of just hanging on and getting their military up, we see how Slavs and Georgians can just kind of roll over the Goths and Lithuanians. So, while it was looking pretty good, I think this is where the Civ matchup starts coming into play. And once you start adding in the Grenadiers, you start adding in enough Boyars to start raiding a little bit, pushing back. The Goths really don't have much of an answer to this. And Terz is now sending some units over to help with the push on the top side, which ShiXo no longer can hold against the Japanese, which is kind of expected. He was able to hold out for a while some action was happening in the south, but now needs the support from Terz. And looks like a decent engagement. The Genoese crossbowmen are leaving the Lydius to just die. So.
And the thing is that, like, Fire is behind because he took some damage and he's a little bit behind in eco, but it's actually kind of catching on. It still has 100 villagers, and ShiXo didn't make much eco either, right? He was surrounded at the start. Now a very forward castle by Brew. They want to finish it here against the weakest Civ, against the Italians, and instantly leads that castle. ShiXo prepared for that move.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you look at the eco KD, I did switch off it, but ShiXo lost about, 52 vills. Has lost 55 vills to Japanese.
Yeah.
So,
that's
like,
classic Brew things. Incessant
harassment.
raiding with Cavachos. That's what Brew does best. That's also why he rates Turks so highly. If we come back to the Civ tier list discussions.
And now we have Boyars in the back, eco in the trade. We have the Georgians and Slavs pushing. It was a tough going at the start, but it looks like Brazil has kind of found their footing, and the early pressure from Germany was really, really stunningly good, but they didn't get a killing blow, and that's kind of what they needed in this game.
They still have middle control.
I was gonna say, we still have these castles in the middle that are going up, and there's just nothing there to defend them. And there's multiple cannon galleons just going.
The ShiXo even killing them with his traps now, so he can at least kill something.
Yeah, ShiXo adding some fish in the middle is really nice, especially because he's been getting raided so heavily from Bruh.
Italian fishing bonus being used.
Oh yeah, what is that bonus anyways?
They're cheaper.
Oh, yeah, hey. Great bonus in DM. And,
for once.
Yeah, there's...
Genbos are taking good engagements here. The push has kind of stopped for Brew. I don't know, he still does have some resources. He's maybe amassing a bit more siege. The 2 siege rounds just by GoKu are still there. It's not the same ones anymore though, they have 0 kills. Pushing the south, off Fire is pushing up, getting more and more traction. Not the trebuchets, because that's the other Chinese civs, but the base mechanic. Lots of army massed up for Keller though in the base. Siege Ranger finds a nice shot. Now the light is coming for Terz as well. Germans might be able to get a clear up here.
They will. I think it lost a bit too much production back home, and even if they clear this up, I don't think they're going to be able to take out the castle or stop this push. It's just going to wait for Brazil to kind of rebuild pretty quickly and continue their push. Brazil has a pretty solid trade in the back. I think we just need to see a little bit more from GoKu. But how's the trade for Germany? Germany, I mean,
like
Terz has a trade going. Yeah.
For the Germans,
but
actually,
it's just,
combined, it's more trade.
And now Bruh's pushing on the top side. Japanese Halberdier mixing in just to meet shield against the Genoese crossbowmen, and Japanese trebs rolling in. Siege coming in from GoKu. Gonna flatten those trebs.
Losing all the trebuchets finally for ShiXo that he had for so long. It's still not that much in terms of traditional armies, so if ShiXo can keep his Genbos alive, maybe get some bombard cannons out. His resources are looking solid, but don't see that much in the queue. He's lost most of his castles, so it's getting harder to produce Genbos, and he's making trebuchets. Rather like to see some more bombard cannons here from the Italians, I feel.
Some rough... The Siege on just landed some really nice shots here. I say as he kills multiple samurai. But yeah, it's just Gen crossbows against against a lot of this is just not enough. They were able to hold off when it was 1v1 for a little bit, but that was a temporary thing.
Yeah, the Siege are just
And, yeah,
behind doing a lot here as well. GoKu supporting with that on the flanks. Where is Boyas? Boyas assembling in the south again. Trying to mask another push there. Lots of Cav archers on both sides. So not Grenadiers play, even though you're playing against Huskar. So Cav archers against Goths feels a bit wild.
It's, I mean, they're being pushed on both sides, but they're not folding quite yet. Their eco's really good. Their trade's starting to really build up. I mean, Keller only has 7 trade cards, but I think he's lost a few to some raids. So, and now, yeah, the Japanese, that right side area is pretty exposed from this castle. Only one castle defending there, but the Cav archers are in on the trade, so they can just start sniping all the eco. Oh, that's gonna be a lot of dead trade. Eventually, they'll be able to clean this up, but it's not looking good for Germany. North side. So I guess that's what the Slav pocket does, is they just send siege onagers to both sides and focus on microing them. And then, you know, halberdiers on the other one.
I'm not sure if there's a hotkey for team score. I think you might be on the wrong overlay, maybe? Because now you should just show.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, Keller calls the GG as a big push that you described is coming in the south. They gave themselves a chance with the eco civs, but Brazil manages to push through with the strong combo. And I think Drew mainly picked this combo just so you could CA rush quicker. Feels a bit like it with the Slav bonus. He was just like trying to buff his own playstyle up, because that's what Drew does best.
Yeah. I'm wondering if they were just expecting like a really strong civ pick from the start from Germany A as well, and then just kind of we're trying to counter strategize against that and be like, yo, this Slav pocket might be a mix-up or something, but in this case it just was like it just didn't really work despite the fact that they won. Let's see.
Ah, it's really a setting. I'm surprised. I had never looked at it, if that's there or not.
Is there a setting for this where it's like show team score?
As I just said, I never looked at it, so I have no clue. Just looked at your stream, so it really isn't there. But KD wise, so the biggest KD actually for Fire, but that's kind of normal because he was playing against Goths, and Goths always have a very negative KD. Terz with the biggest economy, also with the most trade, so that was really nicely played by Terz. Obviously, the only one with relic gold. How many relics did he get? Only 3! Whew, not even getting to 4 relics.
ShiXo lost 111 villagers. That's brutal. I mean, near the end, he kind of folded, but I know Bro was early on sent just most of his Cav archers into the back area of ShiXo's base, like you said, with Cav raids, and just really denied ShiXo any chance of expanding backwards at the start. So, very well done.
I'm looking back at it now. Like, I just have my camera on 4 times speed on the Cav archer rush. God, they just took out the Genbos. What did you say about Genbos being better than Keller and me think? If you watch back those engagements.
I never said they're great. I said they're better than you give them credit. You guys think they were trash, absolute garbage.
Oh, I would have thought they would have done better than in that fight.
Yeah, they at least held on for a while, because like it was a 1v1 for a hot second against the Japanese, and they did fine. I think a lot of other civs in that situation would have folded faster. I think in this unique situation where you're hoping that the 2v2 in the south kind of lets you win the game, I think the Genbos were great at just buying you some time. And then the moment you need to do anything else than just buy yourself a little bit of time, or you bought yourself all the time you can, Italians fold like wet paper. So I think Genbos are underrated. They're still not rated. They shouldn't be rated that high, but I think they did decently here considering the situation. Okay. And for an eco civ, you could do a lot worse.
I think he could have maybe played them on Golden Stream.
That is true. I think like server maintenance in 4 hours. Excellent. Shouldn't take that long, hopefully.
But huge investment by the Brazilians taking the Slavs, the Georgians, and one of their Japanese. I'm fully expecting Brew to play the other Japanese as well. As he has made a remark about the Swift pools that this Swift pool just needs Turks and it would be perfect if you would give Brew a Swift pool where he has only Swifts that can open care vouchers. He would do the same pool pick as Maxi Mac check. Just that Brew does it. No offense to Maxi, but Brew does it a lot better. But yeah, Maxi should really not watch Brew games because then he would once again only do care voucher openings and think it's superior because Brew is really good with it.
Look, everyone just wants to go back to Hun Mirror Wars, you know? Just
no, Maxi wants to go back to Vietnamese mirrors. I don't know if that ever was a thing, but that's probably what he would want.
That was. Looks like Zayu's being subbed in for ShiXo. So still no Viper. So maybe Viper's just not available. Which would be an unfortunate situation that he's not available for arguably the toughest team in their... Or not arguably, they're definitely the toughest team in their division. Or in their group. But
yeah, that's why Fire quickly called the pest control office on Tuesday and say, guys, you need to come to our building immediately. I saw a really big rat, you know?
No, he saw a big snake.
He's a snake removed. Of course. Apparently the pest control is successful in rooting out the snakes of Fire's building.
Viper Zero's pest control 1. So it looks like the next map is going to be Kawasan. I think they're recreating or they're already in. No, they're already in.
They're already in.
That was quick. They know what they're playing, I guess. I mean, I guess they might not be quite as 20 pages deep in their preparation, but Keller definitely knows what he wants as a captain.
I think Keller is at least 20 pages deep on his preparation. We're only at 15.
Okay.
So that's why they are like they were significantly quicker whenever Keller was in the games than when the last match Keller wasn't there, right? And the Germany 8 took a lot longer for every game without Keller, because I guess Zayu didn't have access to the spreadsheet? I don't know. No, I think he did, but they thought a lot more. Keller with the Georgians looking to clap back quickly with the fast and strong civilization, maybe without losing half his base first. And will be aided by a Byzantine flank by Zayu, and we have a Vietnamese pocket for Terz. So this feels a bit like a lineup that they played before.
I am shocked by the Koreans being played here. Like, Golden Stream's still there, right? Like, I feel like you don't want to... You would want the Koreans for Golden Stream at this point, because, like, it's the most watery hybrid map there is, and I feel like Koreans would be especially good there, but Koreans, Vietnamese, and Gujaras, all some other relatively strong civs. Like, this is
absolutely
Brazil's very much front loading. Maybe they're just trying to win in 3 games.
They're trying to 3-0, yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a pond here as well, right? So yeah, you can get to turtle ships pretty quickly. They won't be able to travel as far as on Golden Stream though.
Right. It's turtle ships aren't useless here. I think they're just so much more useful on Golden Stream. But maybe they just want to secure this victory and then really just maybe eco on Golden Stream.
You want to do flags or go live?
Does not keep up to you.
I asked. Welcome to game 2.
Oh, okay, go.
What now?
Go. Let's just go.
Welcome to game 2. We're on Kawasan, 1-0 lead in favor of Brazil. And we have Keller with the Georgians. We'll be looking to rush here against Brew, who has Gujara flank. Oh, I didn't see that it's Gujara flank. That is so unlucky for Germany. And great cooking by Brew. to put a Gujara flank here with the expected Jurchens probably, and Gujaras should be the perfect answer to them on their flank. On the other side, Zayu with the Byzantines will be facing Fire's Koreans that are not going to the lake yet. Zayu, quicker jump onto the lake. Pocket is the Vietnamese against the pocket Vietnamese GoKu and Terz.
Yeah, so looks like it's a pretty interesting matchup. I mean, if you were to have anything go up against Turtles, having some Byzantine fires might be the best option. Looks like it's going to be Galleon starts for Zayu. And like you said, there's no water play from Fire. Fire is actually even getting rushed a little bit more and is kind of staying at home and doing a chicken castle. No water in the south either.
Galleon's
for Brew.
obviously best at denying dock villagers from the starting ships, going to the Romans quite fast. Vietnamese supporting, or like Terz Vietnamese, seem to be wanting to support against the Gujaras. Gujaras can struggle against battle elephants a bit. And Brew is going onto the water. Luchuan already out for Keller.
Yeah, Luchuan's going to cause some problems, but there's a lot of elephant archers and camels already coming forward for Brew. I think we see an early castle in the middle for GoKu as well to help secure kind of that middle area and get a little bit more map control. But this is gonna be tough for Keller. I think he's had some really rough matchups in both of these games, and you can already just see that he needs rocket carts out. He needs them out quickly. The Luchans are going to be really helpful here to deny the docks and deal some damage to these elephants, but they need to be microed back a little bit so they're not being hit by the elephants, so they barely deal any damage, so maybe that's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, obviously you don't want to go much step lances here. Keller did actually open one stable, quickly trying to switch into more of a help siege grenadier play. That's something the Gujaras can have problems against. And yeah, the elephant mass looks scary, but I think Keller should be fine here. He has pretty much full lake control, keeps denying the docks. If he can amass enough halberdiers in front of his army, barracks amount maybe a bit too low, only 4, even though he told me don't need that many, but the Gujaras pushing quite well here. In the north, Zayu is looking solid, has full water control, and is going forward with Paladin, trying to go very aggressive here as well.
Yeah, it looks like Goku's sending some elephants and fire lances over to help deal with this, because it feels like Fire is kind of just on the back foot. It doesn't have a lot of production up. Well, it's just a couple barracks and 2 castles. Rocket carts now coming out, but it feels like between
4 barracks with Koreans is an insanely low number.
Yeah, it just feels like Fire's open is like more of an eco open even. He has those TCs in the back, he has the markets already going up. It feels like he just kind of didn't really try to win his side that much and is going to give Zayu a nice launching point. However, this does mean that like you even see Bruh taking the middle as well. It's kind of like Fire is just kind of playing the eco approach and relying on the Vietnamese and Gujaras to win the long-term battle here. But it's not going great because the Luchans have really pushed Bruh back in the south, and Bruh's moved into the middle and is focusing there and just losing his home base. This is an interesting play from Brazil, kind of shifting their focus elsewhere. Except like
just felt like it couldn't progress, I guess, around the lake with all the Luchans on that and all the army, but Bruce completely losing his base, and that's also where the trade is. I don't think he's adding anything in the middle. Yeah, he will try to have to go back now. But all the doubt for Keller against the initial elephants, he just switched to composition, as I said, right? The composition that Gujaras will have problems to deal with the heavy rocket cart. Churches are not really mainly OP because of the step lancer opening. They are OP because of Grenadier Siege combination. And that's exactly the army that Keller is dominating the opposing captain here with.
And quick note, Oriko, Jurchens are not banned on Kawasan. Just because you're not going to be seeing the massive amount of Luchans that we expect to crash. So, they should be fine here.
Keller's working on it. Keller's working on it. 10 Luchans already. That's how Germany can still lose this game. Because I think otherwise Brew is looking quite dead here. And in the north, Fire stabilized a little bit, but Zayu still has more map control. It's kind of doing 2v1 there, right? Now GoKu kind of attacking Zayu. Zayu could be in trouble sometime eventually, but I'm not sure that time will come.
No, they're Brazil's kind of being wishy-washy on where they want to attack. I mean, it's a very scary attack in the middle with the flanks between the Byzantines at the top side and these massive amount of elephants. But I think, yeah, I mean, the elephants now swinging down for Brew, but like he's just did too much. He moved out too much with a slow-moving army, and then just didn't really get any value from it. Like he looked like he was going to try to attack the pocket of Terz or something like that.
Yeah, I
and
think we have to tell Brew that as opposed to the classification of this unit as a cavalry archer, he cannot run around as quickly with them as he can with, you know, the real deal.
We have a massive Iron Pagoda raid in the backside as well, killing a lot of villagers, killing some trade. Keller all over the place.
It's not supposed to raid.
This is crazy. Like the entirety of Brew's base is just gone. Military 90 in the favor of Germany A. Ecos favored. We even see Keller getting onto the dock in the pocket dock. So we see counter pocket docks coming out for Brew, but it is going to be tough for Brazil to try to come back in this.
Maybe the chance for the Koreans to come over. They have siege workshops here already, and may finally make use of the turtle ship by them making the docks here instead of the Gujaras. But no, we want to play turtle shipless.
Yeah, I mean, we do see, like, theoretically, if Brew can hold against Keller in the south, as unlikely as it is, we do see a pretty massive push in the middle, 2v1 for GoKu and Fire against the army of Terz. So we could see a little bit of a struggle there, though we do see the Cataphracts thinking about trying to come in for the flank. But, like, that is something that could be long-term beneficial for Brazil. They just have to make sure that they survive in the back end and survive their trade long enough. We see Fires coming out for Brew. No galleys, no turtles, not even demos.
Fires! You're not talking about the player, you're talking about the units.
No,
it's not even fast fire, speaking against the APM of his teammate.
And Cannon Galleon. Does he not have turtle ships hotkeyed?
No, that's Brew stocks.
Oh god,
it's not fire stocks.
Gujars, not Koreans.
That's what I was going. That was I was complaining against it. Not the Koreans were making the docks.
Yeah. Anyways,
Terz slinging Keller to keep up the good work there. Keller a bit low on gold. Now both team members slinging Keller, so Keller got gold again in order to continue this push. Very expensive also on the Iron Pagoda, not only on the other units. He's lost most of his siege combination. More siege coming forward. Keller trying to like 1v... mainly it's still 1v1. There's just some buildings of the other two teammates. Zayu also tried to push in the north a bit. Is getting pushed back now. Roman's still finding some value.
Fire's been pushing quite a bit here. There's a huge invasion or huge attack from a bunch of Cataphracts, but they ran headlong into the Fire Lances, and I think they sniped a few bomber cannons. But looks like Fire could start pushing back here if he gets a way to deal with these Dromans that are all clustered at the shore. Land some maybe bomber cannon shots there, and it could be cleared up, and he could push back. But again, it is entirely, like you said, kind of reliant on the south, which looks like Brew is cleaning it up a little bit. At least stabilizing.
He's got the water back, right? Can therefore stop the opponent's stay. It's a pretty okay pop for losing his base, like 130. So did a good job building back. Obviously, Brew is a top DMer, has always been one. But the might of Keller's Gujaras have certainly put a dent onto him. The trade is actually still going full length here. Or once more going full length, only stabilized by like 8 Elephant Archers protecting it though.
Yeah, I think Keller has run out of steam for the moment and is actually sending some pagodas up into the middle to help deal with this push that I talked about a little bit earlier. I mean, it looks like Terz is pushing it back with elephants and rattans of his own. But, you know, a little bit of attention from these iron pagodas are going to clean these rattan archers up very quickly. But that does give a little bit of moment to breathe for Bruh and try to rebuild in the south side, maybe push back this castle and secure the trade a little bit more and make the question of the game actually matter elsewhere, which I think so long as Keller can't get a killing blow here, I think Brazil's looking pretty decent on the top side. We have the war wagons and stuff starting to push back
killing blows, more villagers falling for Brew. Iron Pagoda moving in now, kind of in where the main eco of Brew is, I feel, even in the middle of the map. And that's really good of Keller to find that angle, to find that economy, because it's not very intuitive to have economy like kind of around the middle hill. Brazilians trying to ignore the bottom parts of this map and just playing for the middle hill. taking it more like Kilimanjaro. Keller just ignoring the eco now, though. I would have liked kind of to stay at the eco in order to find the trade, but the trade has, well, it doesn't really have castles everywhere. Kind of find some of Goku's eco now.
We do have a lot more rocket carts in the south with some pagodas and halberdiers supporting them. So this is gonna the push in the south is going to be renewed against Bru, and his elephant archers are a little bit pulled out of position. There's not a lot else down there to help protect against this.
Snipes, Kemet snipe a trebuchet, so we'll keep the trebuchet number at 2 in the push for now. That makes a big difference as opposed to 3 or 4 trebuchets. But it's just slowing down.
Big catapult raid in the north side.
Take another trebuchet out. That's the side where the castle wasn't right. Keller basically scouted out with this iron pagoda, this open trade side, and probably told Zayu, go raid in the right side corner. They have no defenses there. And here appear the cataphracts onto the villagers as well.
Keller has 190 eco kills. We're going to see Zayu quickly climb up at 50 already. Only going to be more. The villagers do hop in the TC, but that is not a good situation for them to be in. I mean, the push in the middle for Brazil is going pretty decently. We actually even have Bru sending in some camels here to help go for some raids himself. We do see some interesting fishing fish traps out for Terz. I mean, anything helps, but that is not a Rage Forest fish boom for sure.
It's clearly safer to put them further in lake.
Exactly. But this entire eco on the right side has just been wiped out.
Did they not see it? Or, I mean, it's super hard to send something to defend the cataphracts. As a Korean, you would kind of need to send, like, war wagons? Fire Lancers won't really get it done.
Fire Lancers and Lancers, yeah. I mean, eventually they will, but that's a lot of units that need to be...
They don't even get bonus damage against the cataphracts at all, I think.
Yeah, and Bru getting a lot of... Getting pushed once again. The rocket carts massively wiping out the forces of Bru, and the halberdiers going up against the ships. And now the pagoda's back into this back eco even. So Brazil looking like they're kind of getting split down the middle. And yeah, now GoKu is finally starting to think about maybe going and raiding a little bit of Keller. I think he should have switched focus a little bit and tried to harass Keller a little bit earlier and try to just make it so that Keller couldn't continue the push in the middle quite as much as he has been.
They just need to clear this raid, man. Sending infantry and infantry, as Kiwata says, Gojara heavy camels are the only ones that probably beat cataphracts, because it's all about surpassing that cavalry armor with your bonus damage. Gojaras do more, but they don't do enough in this game, and Germany will tie up the score in a high civilization invest game for both sides, so big game win for Germany.
Yeah, it was, I think the early lack of the slow start for Fire really kind of bit Brazil, really hurt Brazil, just because it meant that he wasn't able to try to take this arguably better better civ advantage on the top side, and then it just meant that they weren't really posing any problems, and Keller just kind of went and destroyed Bru in the south side, right? Like, it just felt like Brazil never really tried to be in a situation to make Germany A have to answer them. It was always they were reacting to Germany A. And then I think the biggest misplay was Bru sending the elephant archers elsewhere and then just allowing his base just to be wiped out and then not getting any value with those elephant archers.
Yeah, it was kind of the crucial moment, right? Losing the base so easily. He had a nice pushback at the start.
Yeah, he did have a nice. I mean, again, it's a little interesting not going for water right away. I mean, he did kind of try to go for water, but Keller was very quick to the water, very quick to getting those Lutrons out, and those Lutrons just. I think there is an opportunity for Bru to try to like avoid the pond and attack kind of from the northeastern kind of side, and angle in that way. But he kind of attacked along the pond, and those Lutrons were just able to get so much free damage onto the army of Bru that he just wasn't able to maintain a push. And then he tried to secure the middle and just left his base. So
I'm just wondering, just checking how much kills the Lutrons got. I guess actually isn't that many. It's like 11. Oh, it's racking up a bit, but the rocket cuts just simply stop it. The elephants come over, and then Bru doesn't know what to do with his army. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, it's not even necessarily that the rocket carts were the the Luchons not getting damage, like getting kills, but just the amount of damage they were dealing to the elephants. Because it's like if you have elephants showing up with half health because they've walked past 6 Luchons,
Ah, true. Good
I
point.
would take that trade any day, right? Like that's just half your army gone, even if it's still there. So,
All right, guys. The game was already over, so why would I use an ad pack when it's basically concluded? Because we only have 3, and B, there's a clear subscription option to avoid these things, you know.
I did personally change my settings to I think you can do 30 minutes per hour or 30 seconds per hour.
Yeah,
and then
no,
it's just
you have pre-rolls.
couple minutes.
Pre-rolls are
Yeah, I do have
absolutely
pre-rolls when
terrible.
you show up. Yeah.
I don't never tune into a stream with pre-rolls.
It sucks, but I'd rather like in my opinion, it's like at least for people who are watching my stream, usually it's they're here for the couple hours for these events. So I'm like, I'd rather have that, but it is a pick your poison, unfortunately. We had
I think pre-rolls are the by far biggest poison. And if you want to stay small with your stream, to have them on is the best decision.
Yeah. Churchins, Vietnamese, and Byzantines from Germany A, right?
Yeah. Probably.
I think so.
Maybe.
So we'll see where they go next. I mean, it's probably going to be Runestones if I had to wager a guess, because that is Brazil's first pick, and that's the most standard. I mean, Canyon Lake and Kaosan are not quite as standard. They do feel a little bit more standard than, like Golden Stream, but I think Brazil has made it clear with their map picks that they want the more standard, less crazy kind of map picks. So I expect to see Runestones going in. Unfortunately, with Germany winning that last game and looking at the civs, it looked like Brazil was trying to go for a very quick 3-0 before kind of using all their power civs and trying to win before their weaker civs have to come into play. And I think losing that game is a pretty big deal that they're going to use, they have one more power civ in the top row, and then they're kind of down to their trash, whereas Germany A has gotten away, has balanced the game out with 1-1, and only has, Muisca and Byzantines left in the south side. I did watch a Spirit of the Law video today over lunch about the Temple Guards for the Muisca, which I didn't realize they're getting a few more buffs, which will be nice. So, how are we doing game-wise? Are they already in it?
They really don't need those buffs, man. I'm back. Yeah, we can pause at the start. I need a second after that discussion. And we are going to Runestones. What was the civ last game? We had Germany A using Churchins, Vietnamese, and the Byzantines one time. And Brazil used Koreans a bit wildly without a single turtle trip. Gujarat flank, which sounded smart against Churchins, but in the end they are also a siege civ. And then Vietnamese as well. So yeah, will become harder for Brazil now, right? Only the Persians left. And do you want to use them on Runestones game 3?
Do you want me to answer that question for you?
If you want to, yeah.
Yeah, they are going to.
I didn't ask if they were going to, though.
Oh.
I asked if you wanted to, not if they were.
I mean, they're kind of trying to not go the game. I mean, at this point, you kind of have to continue with the strategy of trying to use all your power civs and try to win the next 2, even though they're running out of their power civs pretty quickly. Because if you get to game 5, you're using the bottom of the barrel at that point. I will pause right away, though.
I was aiming for on the map, but obviously they're in a situation where they have to. Oh, wow!
Yo, Dave with the
welcome!
raid.
Everybody to Deathmatch Nations Cup. It's not Canada playing today. They will play tomorrow, though. But it is Germany versus Brazil. You don't want to be cast by Dave against Canada tomorrow. Welcome. Thank you so much for the raid, Dave.
I don't want to know about how good we are. It'll be so sad to watch us destroy Canada, you know?
Exactly. Thank you so much for the raid, Dave.
I'm at 0 seconds whenever you're ready.
I will go there as well. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. And well, thanks for all the follows as Germany goes for game number 3, the crucial game 3. We will have Persians on both sides, I imagine, in the pockets. Yep, for Terz in the green and for GoKu in the yellow. Up top, we have Brew once again with the Japanese going straight Cav Archer opening this time. Not even a Barracks, wants to profit from his best unit against Zayu's Slavs, which speed up the other civs themselves. Are a bit slow though. Muisca for Keller in the south with the Temple Guard that you just talked about, starting with Chumpy though.
Yeah.
Against the Teutons, oh my lord, what do Muisca do in this match?
They hope for their Persian ally to come through with some elephants. It's going to be tough for Keller for sure, trying to get any amount of damage against the Teutons. I mean, I think he's going to get going a little bit faster than the Teutons, obviously. But like once the Teutons start getting some units out, I think ETK just kills kind of everything that the Muisca can make.
EcoK device Terz once again. Terz Schmerz indeed lost the villager at the start to, I imagine, GoKu from the other pocket. So all the Terz carry calls by Ganji might have been too optimistic. Once again, thank you so much, Dave, for the raid. This is Deathmatch Nations Cup. We're watching 3v3 action, Germany versus Brazil here, as you can see. And yeah, tournament has been lots of fun. Dave also cast some of it. Guess that's why he sent you here. And this has been a really good series so far as well. So it should be continue to be really exciting. 3v3 straight away action here from the minute 1.
Yeah, looks like Terz is going to be sending the Savars in to try to raid Bru, but GoKu is forced to send the Savars back home to deal with to help the Teutons kind of build up, and it is still Champy out for Keller. Hasn't really tried to mix in any. Well, there come the Temple Guards. So we do see the Temple Guards coming out with some Siege Onagers.
Did Bru lose this castle up top against Zayu? There's one trap suspiciously standing there. Didn't deal any damage though, so I think Bru deleted that in time. Miniska do that siege engineers, that's true.
Yeah, Bru with the Cav Archers, we've seen how deadly he is with them. Wasn't able to get going fast enough to send the Cav Archers behind Zayu's base to try to pick off some villagers like he did in game 1. So unfortunately, he's a little bit behind on that aspect.
Oh, losing also quite some of them to Zayu's SO here. It's not going as easy as against the Italians. Zayu with the Slavs, obviously a beast. The civilization he has played a lot. Zayu, traditional top DMer over the last years, and is showing his strength here against the Brazilian captain and developer of the game in Bruno. Terz also coming in with the Savar support, really helpful against the CA, obviously.
Yeah, I think if this was just a 1v1, I think Bru would be a lot better off here. But between the Savar picking off his siege and trying to pick off some villagers, it's just a 2v1 on the top side. Only now do we see Goku's units trying to come forward and help, but it's war elephants, so they're very slow at coming in and reinforcing. And they just have, the Savar haven't really been able to find damage for Goku, though they are going in and going to raid Terz and the base of Zayu. So we're going to be seeing some damage from Goku at long last. See if there's any reaction or something, but that's going to be some villagers dead, but they're on the base of Bruh, and Bruh is forced to kind of fall back. The war elephants are a little bit late. The war elephants from Terz are already here, so it's just going to be the Cav Archers kind of trying to deal with this mass amount of Savar, the mass amount of infantry from the Slavs, and it is not looking good for Bruh right now.
Yeah, kind of nothing happening in the south, just a little bit of build-up there, all the concentration on the north. Now Goku finally has his own elephants to start equalizing this a bit. Heavy Savar commitment from both pockets so far. Now Goku though with a quicker elephant switch than Terz. Maybe that's a hope for Brazil in this match.
I'm not sure if it's going to be enough though. I mean, the military count is triple for Germany. And like, Bru is losing most of his production, is trying to desperately build back. But the siege rams are here and they're going to get picked off from some of these samurai, which will be nice.
Finally, samurai, chatty man at them.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the war elephants are here. Like, there were some war elephants from Terz, but I assume they must have gotten taken out.
Yeah, now all the Heavy is in position, though, right? So now Zayu nicely positioning his army, catching the war elephants with the Heavy, thereby forcing Goku's army back. What's going on in the south? Looks like the Muisca are even pushing against the Teuton of Fire here. Castle killed by siege onagers for Keller. Huge Temple Guard and Guecha warrior army. Some Savar support not even needed so far. Keller trying to pike down Teuton Siege. That's not going to work with Ironclad, but his own onagers are following up this shortly. Trying to push up the hill. Still won't be the quickest push, so maybe we turn north again.
Yeah, on the south, though, the main problem, again, is the Teuton speed. They are pretty slow to get their army going, and with a little bit of extra Savara support, it has been difficult for them. But yeah, on the north side, the push continues. There's a lot of war elephants up here for GoKu, but there's so many halberdiers for the Slavs. There's a lot of monk play from Bro. So Bro going full monk to try to deal with the elephant support from Terz, deal with some of these boyars, but I mean, and get some converted on the siege. But it is tough with all the bonuses and conversion resistance they have, and this is not looking good for the Brazilians.
Parabas with 7-stream streak. Let's indeed go. As the castle, is that the last castle for Brew? No, it's the second to last castle. Then one at the edge to protect the trade is still there. Market's also very forward. Maybe a bit too optimistic for the longer trade line, but that's kind of going into the fight already. Here comes the big elephant mass of GoKu in the last Hail Mary attempt. The infantry not in numbers out there for Brew. Also not really able to put in some champions maybe here against the Slavs would be nice. Just going full halberdier, considering the Persian pockets are there.
Elephants going past him, gonna hit some of the siege, which is gonna be huge. And I guess the pincer attack with the elephants on one side and the cav archers on the other side, it's a massive cleanup. So
Brew has a purple elephant in between the other two colors. Looks so funny to have tricolor elephants, but yeah, they're pushing it back. So GoKu saving the day.
Yeah, staying alive. I mean, the south side isn't going well either. Still not a lot of military here. The military has evened out, so Germany A's massive military lead has weakened now with that massive loss. And I think Brazil has an opportunity to push back this forward expansion of Zayu, but kind of needs to get those trebs out sooner than later, and I don't know if they're coming out fast enough.
99% castle will at least be finished now. The elephants are kind of siege weapons themselves, though, and are standing nearby. Japanese trebuchets coming out as well, so that castle will be relatively short-lived. Zayu maybe needs to regather his siege army. He's trying to do so, trying to push the castle in the north to change the angle up a little bit. Bruno even feeling confident to go forward with 24 step lancers for a big raid.
Oh yeah, and he has a cav archer brew with a cav archer raid in the south side. You know that it was only a matter of time before he started doing that. Trying to pick off a few villagers, building a castle, being chased by war elephants. Gonna go and try to get some trade kills. And Brew up there with Leash for all-time greats of, hey, you thought you had trade? Here's some cav archers. In the south side.
Sava pretty good at cleaning CA, but is that enough? He's in the trade, he's doing damage.
If it's mostly just elephants chasing, you can kind of micro away from them. And Brew is good enough at the game that we know that he can really do well at home and raiding at the same time. The push
That's being
is
a true scholar of Caravanserai is trying, a true scholar of Ganji is getting the Caravanserai up. Will make someone in chat very happy. On the other side, we don't see Caravanserai yet for GoKu. So clear win there for Germany. Keller trying to push still, but I think that can be stalled out with the bombard cans and ETK.
Yeah, the castle barely hanging on. A lot of villagers repairing, but they're holding the castle alive. And the Teutons were doing pretty decently at pushing it back for a second, but I think it just ran out of steam. The Champi are going forward to snipe some of the siege and continuing to mass up more army than the Teutons. Teutons really have never had a mass army at this point. I mean,
so far from PopCap for fire, right? Only 100 pop for it.
Yeah. He has lost some buildings, but he probably should have built some more production back. He hasn't really been great at making more production. He's making more castles now to make more ETKs, I assume. I don't even know if he's going to make many more. Like, what is his eco looking like? He has plenty of resources, so just doesn't have the production to keep up with it. And fire being a little bit of a weak link here in this game.
Yeah, Fire's building too small, right? He's once again didn't make many barracks. He's 4 barracks. No stables, maybe some died, but like his build orders are too small. Little bit the problem some other armors have faced in the past, that they plan too small in their base build-ups, and therefore Fire is in problems here, even against the Muisca in the south. In the north, we do have a little bit of a pushback. The whole forward for Zayu were cleared, and It's a very high RM team on the side of Brazil. They've also played a lot of team games. I know GoKu is also mainly a team game player, so they should have the experience for like the later stages of 3v3.
Bunch of Savars in the trade right now in the south side. Was just pinged by Zayu, so good catch. So that should get cleaned up pretty quickly, but a very nice little raid down there. But yeah, the push on the north side has been kind of denied.
Castle stopped.
No.
3 more are coming, but the Savars still around. Maybe they're underestimating this little raid a little bit.
I mean, my concern now is I think Brew has stabilized enough that it's going to be a bit of a push and pull on the top side. It's hard for GoKu to really shift focus because he does need to match the War Elephants of Terz. But I think, yeah, we do see a few Savar coming down south. I think GoKu needs to send some help down to deal with these with the Muisca in the south, which is crazy to think that.
Yeah, but another big raid. They're trying to play the raiding game. Bruce in there with Cavachers again. Trade numbers for Germany 27, 25, 17. Considering the raids, that's still okay and still higher than the Brazilians, of course, who had more like losing their bases problems, but have kind of secured their trade now.
And Tunes finally started. I mean, Fire's started to finally get some ETK numbers up. I mean, that could go pretty quickly if there's some more siege onagers back into play from Keller. But it is looking like he. I mean, the Champy raids are going to go forward.
Champy raid!
Which there's a lot of farm ego just wide and exposed there. Trying to get the house quick walls, and it's not going to happen. So the Champions should get cleaned up pretty quickly, but they're going to find a few villager kills.
The ones with Nili armor, the ones... No, they have squires, okay. Well, Citadel's OP, though. Should have just went for the farms and not gone farther, I think. And if the ETK catch him, they can kill him as well.
Yeah. Japanese tribes finally joining the fight a little bit late, and we do see forward castle coming out from Brew, trying to push into the space. I mean, there's a lot of elephants and a lot of boyars here to deal with this. So there's not a lot of army here from Brew anymore. It's gotten cleaned up because Japanese tribes had been here earlier. They could have sniped a castle or two, but the late arrival of the siege means that boyars are going to be able to snipe some of it. I mean, now it's going a little bit better with some monk conversions, but it is. I think this push could have been a lot deadlier. And I mean, there's still 2 trebs up and more coming in from reserves. So this push actually is going to have
Brew or Ganji is actually playing monks against elephants the whole time along with his army. It's really hard to pull off in DM on double speed, guys, to control these monks. So only the best clickers in the game can do this. It's a lot harder to play monks in DM than it is in RM. And the combined army is going strong. GoKu supporting with the elephants there. Oh lord, should I be starting to worry about my kind of teammates here as the captain of the B team?
It might be. They might have to make a call and bring in Nili and Viper. I don't know if they'll be able to get them on the line, but it's looking a little bit dicey for Germany A right now. I mean, the Teutons are now starting to deathball up a little bit. Not the most dangerous deathball, but they are at least creeping forward and feeling confident enough. They're no longer being pressured at their base. So Fire has a moment to breathe, has a moment to try to start getting his pop going. Still is a little bit struggling. I mean, he has
Castle will fall though, no repairs there. Castle might fall for both in the south, because the bombard cannons and trebuchets are still working away at Keller's castles as well. So exchanging castles then, Keller's jumping, and there just isn't enough army for Fire. Fire, you need to get to population cap in DM.
He has 5,000 gold, 2,000 wood. He's struggling on food, sure, but like you could
just
ask for food, you could just make a bunch. Yeah, he just doesn't have the production. He has, I mean, how many barracks? He has 4.
I think he's on a challenge to go full ETK, and he's trying to produce them out of. I don't know, is he even using all his castles to produce them?
No, he hasn't even queued them up that much. It is definitely a food shortage for Fire, but that's something that can kind of be addressed in the team game, right? Like, yeah, maybe the floating 2K food. And I mean, speaking of Brew, he is pushing in this middle area. Him and GoKu are doing some damage here, starting to press into the kind of middle base of Terz and Zayu. And
I mean, it's kind of amazing how GoKu and Brew have brought this back. They looked super dead minute 10 and Brew lost his base, and the one elephant push kind of stabilized it. And ever since then, the team play and maybe also bit the civilization synergy between Persians and Japanese is really nice. If you have the Kava just to accompany the elephants.
and the Trebs, just, yeah, it is, I think, a very nice combination there. And I think even with Fire struggling to have the military numbers, I think just the fact that Toons are so good at defending with, you know, very defensive slow units, that it bought them enough time that by the time, like, it wasn't dangerous enough in the south that GoKu had to entirely shift focus. So Fire, despite what we can say about Fire's military numbers, he has managed to hold on long enough, and now with a few elephants mixed in, he's starting to push back a little bit. It's looking pretty bad for the Germany A team. Like, military count now favors Brazil. Eco is relatively decent. Still not a lot of trade carts for
lots
Brazil.
of pushing in the middle now as well. Trebuchet is building up their 2 Citadel castles, controlling the midfield for GoKu. Maybe Germany should think about some raids. There is spots without castles in the trade, even though bases overall are relatively well fortified for the Brazilians now.
Yeah, I do think the monk play from Brew has been stellar as well, getting a bunch of conversions and just having a bunch of monks here to help with random healing, just kind of add extra HP, especially when there's elephants in play. That, you know, you get an elephant down to 10% HP and he just has some healing going, and all of a sudden it's a twice as healthy elephant. It generates a lot of value. Miska Slingers would have been smart too.
I think your prediction might be going well. Maybe that's a bit copium for me, for my colleagues, but Germany should have better civs remaining, I think, for the last 2 maps.
Yeah.
So
This is
3-2 either way, it's pretty likely the Germans can at least secure game 4 maybe with the civs. So definitely watching one of the best sets of the group stage so far here.
Absolutely. I think it's if Brazil had managed to take that second game with arguably the better flank and everything, like we talked about, with, you know, how strong Gujarat should have been into Jurchens, that, you know, this would be a 3-0. Like, this would have been Brazil's plan, which is use all your power civs in the first 3 games and win the game before the weaker civs come into play. And it could have worked, but they lost game 2, and we almost lost game 3, but Brew stellar in his defense, and with GoKu coming in. I mean, the game's not over.
Obviously, for those who saw Dave's cast of the Canada versus UK match, breaking the Slavs is something that we see again here. Would be Germany A losing with the Slav. So that's still big points for Brazil. If they can push this back. Still relatively even now. There's a big mass for Terz.
10 conversions have gotten from all those monks. Monks are dying, but that is a lot of really good conversions, especially when war elephants are in play. So Brew showing how much value. I mean, these siege onagers are just wiping out the forces, though. So unfortunately, too many elephants for Terz. Even with a few conversions, the cav archers get wiped out, and this push has stalled. But I mean, they've gained so much ground in this middle area, and they've really pushed Zayu back. So even if they haven't broken the Slavs yet, they've, you know, done so much damage and made so much ground that even in the south, in the middle, like middle south kind of area, Fire is starting to push a little bit.
Yeah, lots of shooting forward castles going like full ETK against the infantry civ. The unique unit Quechua warrior probably doing so less. The chat even thinking about Slingers, a unit I've never seen in DM before.
I mean, aren't Slingers supposed to be like anti-infantry?
Yeah, they were. Like, they're not really anymore, right?
Yeah,
they went from 15 bonus damage to 4.
Oh, there's a big ETK battle. The no siege involved is just going to be ETKs. I think they're attacking the castle, unfortunately. I mean, the castle is going to go down, but now it's going to be... This might be a massacre. I mean...
Melee infantry units shouldn't do well against the Teutonic Knights, at least. Elephants are kind of okay. Elephants now coming in for Terz. Maybe that's what they need to stabilize there.
No, I think they're going to stabilize. I would love to see some halberdiers mixed in for Fire just to deal with these elephants. But, I mean, you're kind of just going full ETK. But the elephants do clean up the siege, so at least the push is going to stop. The ETKs do get cleaned up by the sheer numbers of Keller's army. But now here come the elephants on the slightly northern side, and the elephants are a little bit out of position for Terz. These elephants are going to be pressuring quite a bit. And, oh, we do have some raids in the back. A single Gwitcha in the back of the trade, being attacked by villagers.
It has minimum range. They're gonna kill it.
No.
It's a skirmisher after all in one regard, even though it's a lot more attack than a skirmisher. The Quechua warrior does go down. I think he's adding the temple guards for the Persians, right? The opponents have Persians too. Doesn't want to die if the elephants ever come to his side. That's probably why he's adding them. Also, it's kind of the default comp for Muisca, but Keller has been always complaining about people defaulting into it too easily. He isn't thinking about the slingers though. I am not sure if they would be good here or not. Here come the elephants though, and if the temple guards are out of position, the siege archers will die. Also, logic is you can maybe siege archer down the infantry as well, but not if the elephants push it back this far. Is there any traps to push? Only one trebuchet to push for fire, but the Germans are losing ground over all the map now.
And on the south side, we do see Brew sending in some cav archers for his raids, getting quite a good position here. There's no castle here to defend. I mean, there is actually. Never mind, I take it back. But you can stand outside the range. In the north side, there's a pretty big push coming in from the Slavs, but Brew snuffed it out. Lost a few monks and some siege to it as the boyars, but getting a pretty decent engagement here, and at least has cleaned up some of the forces. But that is going to be a question they have to answer. And we just see
that's maybe a chance for Germany if he can push, if Zayu can push into a trade. Zayu's kind of retreated out of the middle fights as the eco's kicking in for Zayu. For Terz. Terz has now good elephant masters on the field, kind of equaling GoKu finally on the elephant. Has added scorpions to help against the opponent's elephants as well. Terz now also playing monks. He's saying, I can play that 2k3 armor game as well, my friend Brew.
We do have a big
2k5
warrior raid in the top right corner, or in the right corner as well. There's a bunch of castles around there, so it's gonna be hard to find the damage.
Citadel castles. I don't know if that's gonna be a big one.
Trying to find a spot, which there is a spot that they could get to, but they've lost too many of them to really do too much damage. So that should be cleaned up. It was a nice thought by Keller, but I mean, now Keller's
not the right angle, right? Maybe through the middle. There is kind of an angle here in the midfield where the Trumpy are standing, where they might have an easier way to get to a spot in the trade. There with the two caravanserai north of Goku's base, kind of. But it would be hard to find in all the action.
Yeah. After that last Quechua raid, Fire just built a corner castle just to protect the raid, and that was what I think Keller wasn't expecting. They ran right to that castle and just got obliterated. So... yeah, I mean, we do see an elephant pushback with those scorpions and monks added in now in the middle. So Terz doing a little bit of damage here. But, and then on the top side,
at the north, Zayu still trying to push, loses a castle, but that panic castle by Brew might also be short-lived. Depends on the SO shots here. No, Samurai weren't shot at. Samurai were not targeted, so all the siege is going down. One siege archer is not gonna survive even. So 0 siege archers for the forward push for Zayu. So at maximum he kills the castle and then we get pushed back. Really, really good reaction by Brew.
Yeah, he did lose quite a few cav archers to the siege archer shots before they are wiped out. And if he has one halberdier to go raid, that boyars might be able to stop it. No, the siege on those trebs are going to go down. That castle, I think, is going to stay alive just barely.
Repairs, 15 repairs should be enough for 2 traps. Yeah, Brew even saving that castle is huge. Quechua warriors even trying to support in the north now, where Zayu is going. So Keller trying to play everywhere. Terz doing a great job stabilizing the middle 1v2 here. Kind of fighting back Fire and Goku on his own with the Elephant Scorpion combination. Scorpion's also good against the ETK. So there's your ETK counter for everybody who wondered about slingers. And yeah, I think Scorpions might just be better same with hand cannons in the old days.
Yeah, and now with the elephants now taking the front lines, it's allowing Keller to kind of sit a little bit more back with the temple guards, protect the siege, and the Trebs trying to take out these middle castles. So Fire needs to keep his military production. We've talked about many times. He's down to 12 ETKs, only 2 siege onagers, some halberdiers. Like, he just needs to be making a lot more military than he currently is. We do have a Quechua warrior raid in the top side. Keller trying to get into that trade, is trying to find a soft spot, but there's plenty of castles around. No caravanserai, but maybe got the hotkeys mixed up. But there's castles everywhere, and these Quechuas aren't going to be able to find too much damage, especially with some halberdiers and samurai trying to chase them down. They might be able to find a little bit nestled spot behind these houses. That might be outside the castle range, and it is, but enough units here are chasing them down.
Yeah, Samurai, take them out if they get into minimum range. Obviously, in melee combat, Samurai way better. Yeah, it's a bit half-assed Caravanserai play. I don't know, we have two in the same spot for GoKu to the south, but he never really expanded them fully to the north into Brew space. Whereas if you look at Terz side, I mean, there's a hole for Caravanserai here as well, but it generally extending to all the map.
Generally, it's... You could always use more. It's probably Caravanserai, probably not seen as much in their day-to-day Age of Empires when they're not playing DM. So probably not their first thought. Adding at least some is pretty nice. But
if you're a team game player, you should always... I would always expect you to make them. Also, Red Forest, it's usually important.
True.
If we're talking about overbooms, I think Fire might be the first one that comes to mind with 165 villagers. But kind of most of Team Brazil is to overboomed. I like 150, 150, 150 for Persians can be fine if they're not being slung. Because elephants are costly. It's actually, what? Persian CA when you've got a Japanese ally? Earth to GoKu, you're supposed to only make elephants here.
There's some Persian Hussars going in for some raids to try to snipe some of the Slav siege. And Castle does go down in the north for Zayu, so a nice little pushback from Brew.
GoKu saved the game for them, but I feel like GoKu is throwing the game right now, trying to add units that aren't elephants, while Terz is at the ultimate Persian composition of Elite War Elephant and Scorpion, and it's also getting slung by Zayu. Imagine he's getting slung by Keller as well. We can quickly check like the send received. Yeah, Terz got 43k resources, only 23k received by GoKu, so both are slinging the Persian a bit, but those 43k resources are the reason that Terz is allowed to play with 115 eco units only, and therefore can afford so many more elephants than the opposing team.
And looks like on the north side, Keller has continued with Glacier Warrior raids and found a really nice soft spot. Is going to be able to snipe a bunch of trade here. One elephant is chasing it down with some Savars. But I mean, as your point, like making
I think the middle push matters more right now. Those raids are being a nuisance. It's like Keller being annoying while he's slinging, I think. I think the German team is fully playing into Terz now, fully playing into slinging the Persians, and that's exactly how you should play Deathmatch late game, with a Persian player present. And they're doing a better job at that maybe than the Brazilians, so the game might take another turn with the Terz carry with the elephants.
Yeah, and speaking of late game, I took a quick look. We're down to 55k wood on the map. Still plenty, so it's not a full wood game yet, but it could be starting to think about that a little bit. But the middle's getting really nicely cleaned up by Terz with the siege support of Keller. So turns out that the best and weakest strategy here is just to have elephants in front of you and go siege behind it, and mix in some temple guards here and there. We do see a massive cav archer raid in the south side for Brew, but that castle is just in the best spot and adding Glacier Warriors.
They don't get so much trade going down. Holy shit. The attack speed difference between the Japanese cav archers here and the Glacier Warriors seems so massive. They're so much better at killing the trade cuts than Keller's units.
You know what is probably better at, is also really good at killing trade units? Boyars. And there's a lot of Boyars in the north of Brazil's trade. This is turning into just a trade, not a base trade, a trade, with both sides losing trade left and right. I mean, maybe this will help balance out Brazil's eco a little bit. I mean, we do see GoKu down to 83 villagers and 33 trade, so he has room for military. Brute also down to 100 mil eco now, so looks like they have noticed that they overpopped, so this is a good chance.
The reaction to the Boyar raid is smaller though, right? The castle took out the CA raids, the Boyars are still going strong, Cavachers should be more effective, but it's 41, 41, 32, 2, 50, 40, 50 Germans with more trade, and they still have the big elephant army in the middle. Small correction, it's not like all patrol stacking is banned, unified handbook rules apply, so would be the same as in your average RM STO.
Yeah, a lot of elephants in the middle. I mean, this pushback has been pretty significant. We saw like about 20 minutes ago or so. It was Fire and GoKu kind of on the front lines of the base of Zion Terz, and now it's kind of been flipped. It's on the front base of Fire, and we already talked about how Fire is struggling to keep his military up. We even see Muisca pushing on the south side with some Guechas and some Trebuchets.
Wait a second, did Terz just delete his monks? Was he unhappy that Persian monks are not converting enough? I don't know if you saw that, or did you see that chat? I was zoomed in on the monks. It definitely looked like he just deleted them. Were there counter monks trying to convert him? There's Teuton monks out. Maybe Fire was trying to convert the monks of Terz. This is absolute madness. We have atonement being used in Deathmatch, I think for the first time ever.
That's crazy.
Teuton monks to counter Persian monks in DM.
Massive push on the north side. Brew all up in the base of Zayu. Elephants from Terz trying to come and support this, but I mean, that's a lot of Cav Archers, a lot of Halberdiers have gone down now. So these War Elephants might be able to get onto the Siege and the Cav Archers, but that is a lot of some damage and some pressure that is going to relieve some of the annoyance in the middle. We have a lot of villagers coming forward for fire, trying to get some wood lines. And those are probably going to get cleaned up once the attention of Terz goes on there.
Zayu at least still has pop. Yeah, we missed a bit that he left his page. Amazing first shadow shake, your booty. But Terz, once again, even clearing that side. Therefore, obviously lost his push onto Fire now. Fire with the Monk defense is holding. The long-range lumbering, as Muhido just pointed out, is going on in the middle. It's a bit more short-range with some lumber camps. For the German team, bigger wood problems if we look at the banks. For Brazil, Germany isn't rich on wood, but they at least have a bit of remaining. And that's a lot of villages dying to these two server.
And there's actually, if you look at the resources mini-map, there's not a lot of wood left at home for Brazil. So a lot of the wood is just kind of in the middle. We do have some big pockets of wood in the back of Germany's base that they are taking.
Even kind of blocking the trade, but they kept it for later. Germany should win the wood game. Keller was once known as Mr. Wood Control for many years when we were playing mirrors in DM. So now Mr. Wood Control can be back in an important DM Nations Cup set.
Yeah, and I think it's just Brazil's kind of lost a little bit of steam. They lost their good position, and at this point, they don't have a strong enough attack. I mean, maybe on the top side they could really
Japanese war elephants are still pushing, man. 3 more elephants for Brew. Going forward. Thank you for the follow. And Kayasama trebuchets, no, Kataparuto trebuchets are in place as well. We're very angry at this market. That shouldn't be too consequential. Boya trying to position there. Boya will be a good unit for the post-wood game because, well, they don't cost wood.
That's true. I mean, and there's big engagement on the top side. We see the Boyars engaging on to the military, going to try to snipe some of these
It's a terrible fight, though. So many Japanese halberdiers. This is not a fight Zayu should have taken. Needed to call in the, I don't know, elephant support, made some champions or something. I don't know, but the Camarches are always present. It is hard. This middle stage is nice for the Japanese. They will have problems once they're out of wood, and Brew kind of is out of wood. But the Germans need to stabilize in order to take their wood win with the overall better wood unit, better food units. Teutons might have something to say about that. Also pretty decent civ if there's gold, but no wood.
I will say that at least Zayu was able to snipe 2 of the trebs out of the 4, so the push from the Japanese is a little bit slowed down, just enough so that the elephants from Terz can show up here. And GoKu not supporting on the top side, instead sending elephants into the middle to try to secure these wood lines, to try to take out some of these trebs of Terz, and to try to win this area. So
Scorpions should get some value there. Lots of trebuchets for Terz here. If the elephants can break the line, that would be very costly losses, not only on gold cost, also on the wood cost. And the trebuchets are going down to some Sava. Terz is losing a lot of value here as well.
And Fire finally has a bunch of ETKs. Has a bunch of ETKs out, has some siege behind it. I mean, only 1 treb needs to add a bit more, but he's starting to push a little bit in the south side. It's kind of turning into 3 1v1s, and I think if it's 3 1v1s, it means that Brew is going to slowly win on this top side. He's going to slowly crack these Slavs. And I don't know if Zayu is really in a position to be able to deal with the Japanese at this stage of the game. And I'm
not sure Muisca have much in the long run to deal with Fire if wood is out, but the Germans still have their wood control advantage, right? They still have wood income. The other guys are slinging stuff around, but nobody really has wood remaining.
There. 15k wood remaining. There's still a lot of gold on the map still. 6k gold on the map, so not the biggest deal with all the trade setup. But
How much
yeah,
wood is
I think
there
this is gonna
that the
come-
Brazilians have access to, though, right? That's 200.
almanac.
Then at the very top, we have that's like 1K in brew space and some stragglers around there only, right? That's why they're trying to fight so heavily for this mid side. But I only see German villagers actually collecting.
Yeah. I almost even think that Germany could have thought about just taking a few siege onagers and chopping those middle wood patches and just be like, no, neither of us can have it. We have the wood at home. So it's, yeah, Brazil's quickly running out of time to make something
Jumping on
happen.
the left side onto Bruce army, jumping on the left side, elephants are jumping, boyas are jumping. Think squad masses are not really affordable anymore, probably, given the wood situation, but the elephant masses are. And the elephant masses are cleaning. Monk play by Brew continues in order to stop this.
Samurai.
Boya should probably
Samurai
jump the
being
monks.
sent in. When there's only
Samurai
food and
can be
gold
helpful
left,
against the
Brew's sending
Boya,
in.
that's true.
Yeah, it's
Also kind of a
Brazil
unit
kind of
to
needs
make,
to
yeah.
win now. Brazil, we do see a push on this right side from Fire. So, I mean, the wood is going to very quickly deplete. I think if Germany can get a cleanup at any point, I think they win the game. If Brazil can just continue a push without losing too much, I think that's all that... It's really just a matter of, can Brazil finish
They
off
should
Germany
get
here?
a clear up here in the north. They should get a clear up here in the north anytime. The Sidron just need to find shots on the Samurai, and then the Boya and Elephant can clear all the rest. Sidron
here
shots
they
now
come,
incoming,
yes.
targeting the monks though, not targeting the Samurai. Samurai will melt the Boya. Oh, once again, Zayu not taking the greatest fight. There's finally a shot on the Samurai. We need another big shot on the Samurai, another big shot on the Samurai. Huge shot on the Samurai. That might be the shot of the game.
Yes, that is what they needed. He does get a couple conversions. He was focused about trying to avoid the conversions, but yeah, all the samurai do go down, and the meat shield of Bra relying on 3 converted elephants, and there's just not enough there to continue this push. Needs to make sure to save the Trebs. That was a massive, massive defense from Zayu. It wasn't the best fight at the start, but landed the shot when it mattered. Game 7 clutch. And, I mean, this kind of just buys them enough time to get to the end, get to the final stage. I mean, there's a lot of elephants in the south side for GoKu pushing in, and the push from Fire on the right side is starting to get some damage. Like, there's not a lot here to really defend against this small, tootin' little army, especially with some Trebs coming in. We do see the Cav Archers of GoKu, which, you know, you've had opinions on, there as well to support this right side push. So, I mean, Germany does have to deal with both sides of the map.
Just won't matter. I don't know if Mapuso, you remember the start of the game where Zayu deleted Brew as also one of the top DMers of the map. I would say that was quite some good play by Zayu.
Yeah, this is... And now...
There comes
like,
another big
Keller's
army by
kinda
Brew,
falling
though.
apart.
He has another big army. He has 4 trebuchets. Still has... obviously can keep making the samurai. Zayu's just trying to play the long game here, right? Transitioning to the food gold unit. Doesn't want to invest too much into wood. Wants to get the maximum out of these SO. Can we get more big shots? Brew pulling most of them back. Eats 1 shot there. The Japanese elephants also being kept alive really nicely by Brew.
With the
this
monk
is amazing
support
play
as
from all
well.
the players.
Yeah. As this top side slowly, like, I think Brew just needs to make sure not to lose his army, because on the south side, there's nothing here to stop this. There's trying to make a castle, but there's enough bomber cannons and Trebs here, and the ETKs are stand ground, not patrolling, so hopefully they don't do anything too bad, but they're just standing ground. The Gretches are sniping. Okay, they do snipe a bomber cannon, but I mean, there's nothing to stop this trade from going down. Desperately making some monasteries for some defenses. Monks coming out for Keller. Anything to convert.
No, it's every
I mean, I guess
player.
Putin's-
Is there any player in this game who hasn't been monks yet? I think GoKu.
I think GoKu made a few monks. We can check afterwards, but I think he made a few monks. We do see villagers deleted for GoKu since there's no more wood to be chopped.
That
And
makes
I mean,
a lot
there's
of
a lot of
sense.
Boyar here. Boyar is against Samurai. A lot of siege onagers here to support. Cav just not fingering to
The
go
converted
forward.
Boya, man, Bruce playing the SO. He's using the converted Boya to try to snipe the SO. He can't engage the longest SO there!
Oh!
That's the massive shot. For onto the
There's another
samurai.
shot. And now Brew's forced to fall back. But again, I think Brew is just overextending a little bit too much here. I don't think he needs to be the one to force
I
it. He
think
needs to
Terz
turn his
needs to
attention over
come
here.
to the south, right?
Yeah,
So
Zayu's sending the Boyar south to deal with this, because I think that's the thing, is that if this trade starts getting hit, there's no way that Germany A can rebuild this. I think Fire's just not being aggressive here enough, giving just enough time for the elephants to show up and save this. He's taking out settlements. He needs to be taking out the trade. He needs to take out the castles.
To kelar, all the elephant masks coming to the south now. 41, 44, relatively even on the elephant count. Germans still with a little bit more wood. Is that enough? With way less map control and a little bit more wood. Is that enough for Germany to win the game? This is definitely one of the closest. This is probably the closest individual game we've seen so far in Deathmatch Nations Cup.
On the north side, with all the forces pulled to the south, Brew is able to go forward a little bit. Only a couple siege onagers are in defense.
Yeah, big fight in the south, though. Big fight for armies in the south. I think we need to start talking about the south. Elephants from 4 colors, elephants. Boya coming from the back. The TTK are kind of in position, but that means nothing is blocking the Scorpions. So Terz elephants jumping the Scorpions. Goku's elephants jumping there as well. There was even some kelar elephants in there. Only the purple elephants kind of missing from all the elephant masses. Boya versus ETK. I think ETK should win that. ETK are mopping it up. They're also on a hill.
The treads are still alive. Yeah, the treads stay alive. The castle's gonna go down for Germany. And on the north side, just briefly, Brew is pushing in and hitting castles, and there's nothing in defense here. A couple elephants coming in, but there's monks from Brugge playing it.
Castle's down, Germany's army's down. Brazil takes this back and forth. Game 3.
What a game. Holy. 760 war elephants for Germany, 849 war elephants for Brazil. You don't see that much meat in an RM game.
Germany wins either way, TK. Thank you. Some good Copian for the German caster casting the German A-team. We've got Goku with 1700 kills, getting more kills out of his war elephants than Terz. Maybe switching earlier into them. Like, I think the earlier elephant switch of Goku was the key after better start for Germany to stabilize the game for Brazil. And then, yeah, then Brew eventually pushing into Zayu a lot there. Terz heading to defend kelar in the south as well. Flank civilization a bit weaker at the bottom side, and once Fire found his footing, wasn't much that the Muisca could do. Terz had maybe try slingers. I'm personally not too sure about that. And
as why don't you say high points out? Brew had 120 conversions that game. If those were like mostly elephants and siege onagers, that's so insane. That's such good.
It's actually Zayu and Goku didn't get a conversion, so they might have made monks, but only 4 out of 6 players got conversions. Kelar with the lowest with 8. Then we've got Persian monks. We have to count in as well that Terz was making Persian monks who got 59 conversions. Brew got 120 with his Japanese monks. And Fire trying to counter-convert the counter-monk. The monks there got 16 for the Teuton.
I kind of want to ask them, get a couple minute break. After a super long game there, I think.
I mean, I don't know. The players want to play.
I don't know if they're already in it. Yeah.
They're probably already doing a break, right? I don't see a next game.
I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, yeah, it's not going. Yeah, the browser's
then
there.
Go for your break. Goku, before this.
I'll go run to the bio and you carry the stream.
I will go after then. And yeah, welcome guys. Thanks to everybody for sticking around. I mean, potentially have 2 very close matches left here. Thanks Dionamu for the follow. Thanks Sommer for the follow. Thanks Pipponosoy for the follow. Thanks Glad Recycler for the follow. Very German name. Thanks there Puck TV for the follow. Thanks Mayan Archers for the follow. We will not see them, unfortunately. No Mayan Archers in pool 2. Shake Your Booty, thanks for the follow. And the amazing first shadow hinting to that push by Brew. And welcome in Arken B. And from that one, obviously, if you're enjoying the show and are not one of those people who have followed yet, lots of more Deathmatch Nations Cup to come on the 2 channels that are streaming right now. Also, maybe click on the shared stream and give a follow to Mujido as well. He's organizing this tournament together with Sniper and Zayu. He's doing a lot of background work, so maybe consider giving him a follow as well. And we do have a 2-1 for Brazil. bit unfortunately for my slightly biased perspective as the captain of Germany B, that has already won their group in DM Nations Cup. And onto that we can cross off some civilizations. That was both teams playing the Persians. Germany investing the Slavs and not winning the game is a bit worrying, but they got the Muisca out of the way. And they had as a pocket the Persian pocket? Persian Slav Muisca, yeah, across all of them already. There was Teutons for Brazil, also an important civilization, and Japanese. No Japanese left more for Brazil. And I think it's pretty clear visually on the Civ tracker here that Germany might be 2-1 down, but has the better civs left. Speaking of left, I think Murido's back, and I will take a short break.
All right, I have returned. Have they started?
I went for my break as I thought you were back and I was hearing sleep.
Oh no, I forgot to mute my mic. That's fine. All right. Hello. Oh, man, that was quite the game. That was, I think, the first like full wood game we've had where it's just been 0-0 wood. So let's see. We had the Persians from both players, Slavs from Germany, and Muisca versus Teutons and Persians, Teutons, and Japanese. So that actually leaves a lot of weak civs for Brazil for these last two games. Can they scrounge together a map, a win on either Golden Stream or we have left? We have Golden Stream and Outcrop left. I mean, Golden Stream with water, like there's the Italians, like they may have some decent here, like Italians, Byzantines, like there is some chance there. The Koreans on Golden Stream are going to be deadly to deal with. So we'll see. That was just the warm up. I have places to be. I have to go. Oh, I have to go and do stuff tonight too. I was expecting to have some more time today. I did not expect a full wood game. I should have planned my day a little bit better, but this is a hell of a game set so far. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting to see. I mean, I was joking about server maintenance, but if we have 2 more wood games, we might actually even get there. Probably not, but here we go. Spectator, looks like it is going to be Golden Stream, and we do have the one and only. The reinforcement call has gone out. The fires of Gondor were lit. TheViper is showing up in the player list. Oh boy, the snack himself is showing up in
I wasn't
Germany
expecting
A's
it.
Time of
Yeah,
need.
he's in the voice chat.
Oh boy, Gandalf the White feeling, yeah. Viper for the rescue, Sniper and Turfex are hype. The snack has arrived. Now, if Nili shows up, then we know really that Germany A is they are casting, they're getting their Avengers super meeting. Viper,
No color picked yet for Viper, so we don't know if he's flank or pocket. But it is Keller and Viper in the lobby.
Who the third? Yeah, we'll see who the third is. I think Germany losing game it was a tough one. They had a really good opportunities there to win that game. I think they had the really big push into Bruce base early on. They were decimating fire on the south side, but just couldn't find the damage. And just a slow, consistent push from Brazil eventually got them there.
Brazil winning their home map on Runestones. Germany won their home map as well. First one went to Golden Stream.
Yeah, it's going to be Golden Stream next, which...
Koreans?
I mean, I think
we're going to see Koreans now, right?
Yeah. Koreans, Japanese, Byzantines, I assume. And then...
keeping the Gujaras for Outcrop? Yeah, I could see that for Germany.
and then probably Byzantines, Italians, and Goths, maybe? Like, go for some cheeky land rush with the Goths or something for Brazil.
Brew opens Goth CA.
Hey, there's been crazier things.
I wouldn't put it past him, man.
I mean, it could be one of those things where it's like, if you're fighting uphill already so badly with your Civ selection, that like some crazy play just be like, look, if I can just Civ or Cav Archer rush and just somehow take one of Germany A players out from the start, that's a way to like, not necessarily cheese a win, but I mean, Zerg rush is a strategy, right?
Aurico, did you miss game 3? That was a bad mistake if you went away for that game.
Yeah, this was a crazy set so far. Like, the first 2 games are very good too. It's a crazy thing. The third one is just out and about. You have a full wood game with Persians. You gotta love that. So
we are getting ShiXo in the room again. So Terz and Zayu sitting out for this one. Keller, Viper, ShiXo are the water expert round, perhaps, for the Germans.
Freaking Andy, if Germany A does lose, and I think that means Brazil wins.
Well,
yeah, Germany, because then they would both.
Sets. But yeah, probably.
There is a chance. Yeah, I mean, there actually might be a way to, if they win. It could be a 3-way tie theoretically if Mexico A beats Brazil and Brazil beats Germany A. In which case we get to tie breaks and stuff.
Andy just wants Germany A versus Sweden in the round of 16 and calls it spicy because he wants to face neither team in the playoffs with Austria.
That's true.
It's so clear. And then it would be spicier probably in the grand finals than in the round of 16. But he wants Sweden or Germany free road to the finals.
That's true, yeah. It's it would be an interesting round 1 matchup. It would be quite the
but then,
would be
Andy,
quite interesting.
you can't get us. You can't get us. We both won our groups. You're safe from Germany DP.
I mean, freaking Andy, the concern, though, is that if Germany A were to lose this, they could face you in round of 16. You could have Germany A in your first round. So
that's it again.
That's dangerous.
Nope. ShiXo, Viper, and Keller are the lineup. And they have CH4 in the lobby, wanting to support the German team. Maybe make it a 4v3.
Always just funny when a random person joins. It's like, hey, I'm here for some DM and for some deathmatch. Let's go.
Is the lobby named properly? Can we blame them? Yeah, of course, Keller's hosting. The lobby is named properly, so we can blame the joiners. Finanji, well, turns out we're the A team.
No, Terz is subbed in. So it's going to be Keller, Viper, and Terz. Looks like ShiXo.
Oh, Canuck was successful in calling for Terz.
Ah. This is yeah, I mean, at the end of the day though, this is Germany A's home map, like we've said. And Germany A just has better civs left, right? Like, you could argue that Italians aren't good better on water. I mean,
thanks Andy for like saving me from ShiXo's PMs by you saying it. No man, push ShiXo. Didn't they win the game with ShiXo?
Yeah, no, they lost game 1.
No, they lost game 1. But that was a throwing game. Civ was.
I mean, they did pretty well. Like, ShiXo was not the reason they lost it, I don't think. I think ShiXo held pretty well pure Italians versus Japanese, and he held for long enough that theoretically, if they had done better on the south side, there could have been some stuff happening, but
yeah, well, it was actually kind of the best game by Germany, I would say, Civ-wise. They had a slight advantage in the last one. I mean, obviously they
ShiXo
won.
ShiXo's
here now, coming to freaking Andy's messages. Spend some ShiXo love emotes in chat. Who has them, please, guys? But the game has started.
Really well game 1. So.
I'm going to game 4. Everything on the line for Germany. They might be the German team that doesn't win their group. They don't want to have that. They don't want to see all the banter of Germany B in the German DM Discord if they don't win their group. So they should have enough interest in finishing at least equally to the B team. They might have already lost that spot though, right? They lost 2 games. We are already the A team, guys. The A team lost 2 games. We only lost 1 in our group. Okay, so that's fine. I can fully root for Germany A now because I know Germany B is already 1 game ahead of Germany A.
Nice. Yeah, so we can talk about the civs. It looks like Viper isn't playing his yellow, unfortunately. But Japanese, Byzantines, and Koreans, which is kind of what's expected. And then Goths, Muisca, and Byzantines. So no Italians. I feel like this would have been a good place to play Italians. I mean, with Goths and Muisca, it might just be that they're somewhat punting this game and hoping for the best remaining civs that they have for game 5.
I think so. Yeah. This is fully gearing towards a game 5. Brew might make the CS start. ShiXo buying me the fact that I will talk good about him now, obviously. Andy, if you want me to talk bad about ShiXo again, you need to sub as well. And thanks for the followers that are coming in.
You can send some subs my way too, you know? Or actually, more so, donate to the prize pool. That's what we want to do.
True, this is a community-funded event. We're currently sitting at $500, which is way too less for all these prominent players playing in this event, as you can see on screen. So send some love their way by clicking on that community-funded donation link there as we go into game number 4.
It's definitely the biggest DM tournament in years, right?
Let's set up flags this time. Now that everybody's here, I want flags.
Sure. At least it's not American Samoa.
No Americans here. I mean, Brazil is American, but not North American.
Yeah.
I'm at 0 seconds.
All right, I am as well. If you want to count us down.
3, 2, 1, go. Match point game for Brazil on Germany's home map, though, on Golden Stream. Keller leading the charge, giving himself a good civ for once. In the Koreans will be facing Bruce Goth. Oh boy, Goths can be dangerous against Koreans with the infantry flood. On the other side will be TheViper making an appearance in the set to save Germany's asses. He will be playing the Japanese against Fire's Muisca. Full champions might crush the Muisca in the pockets. Terz with the Byzantines and GoKu in the Byzantines. Once more, a pocket mirror.
Yeah, it's gonna be we'll see how the Goth spam happens and how Keller can handle it, because until the Korean deathball kind of can get going, it's gonna be dangerous. I mean, we see a castle being rushed up from Keller right away, help deal with these Huskarls, and Paladins immediately coming out from Terz, probably going straight to go deal with some support, maybe try to raid the Goths and try to keep the army at home.
Alfshambe is just envious, Ashur, because he also speaks German but can't speak like Nili.
And we see Champy raids coming out trying to pressure Viper a little bit, but with some Cav archers out and some champions, I don't think there's going to be much found there. I mean, yeah, it doesn't even get a kill. And
this guy's trying to get in. Keller has nicely semi-clumped here in the south. All the gaps seem to be closed. Terz is coming to support, but might not even be needed. Keller on full tryhard mode now with the Koreans. Does want to secure the victory here. Forward docks up for Brew though, so getting some position. Only one, however. Terz supporting there. How's it going on Viper's side, Mojito?
Viper's looking fine. He's cleaned up the rush a little bit, has some Cav archers, has some champions going forward, and they're going to start pressuring this poor Muisca base. We've talked about in the past, Fire's opens haven't been the cleanest with getting enough production, and he's going heavy castles right now, trying to get ready for this pressure. But, I mean, he doesn't have much military on the field, has some Wedge warriors out and about.
For fire, yeah. Which, bigger fights in the south, also on the water. GoKu with the earlier jump onto water, went heavily into docks. Byzantine fast fires out everywhere, looking to stall Keller from jumping over this river here on Golden Stream. Trade setup also very important on this map, since the gold is only kind of in the middle, only a little bit of gold in the bases. Fire's pushing back the turtles. Keller with the very right side dock Finally, we do see a Korean with turtle ships, but against the infantry mass, not too great, right? Well,
Yeah,
actually, still
Goku
great.
Goku did send some paladins into raid and has some paladins in the corner to try to snipe the markets, but isn't far enough to snipe the last villager of the Viper. So that market is going to go up.
Viper stopped the castle, Dowd castle in the middle. Heavy cav archers and champions from Viper went to the middle as they didn't find much of a base in fire space. Therefore stopped Goku from securing those goals there.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have some heavy naval, heavy and hybrid. Doesn't look like Viper has any intention of really pressuring the base of fire, even though he had that opening. No Trebs coming out for the Japanese, which we do like to see the Trebs, but I mean, he's kind of committing fully to water with cav archers. In the south, we do see a very, very heavy water commitment from GoKu. I don't even know if Goku's adding a few camels here and there, but for the most part, it's going to be fires and galleons from GoKu. And the Goths continue just to do the infantry spam and trying to get some damage on Terz and Keller down here. And here
GoKu with this really nice naval control. This is looking even a bit worrying for the Germans in the south, right? The turtle ships are there, they're kind of blocking the infantry. But initiative still for the Brazilians. Question is, will Peru run out of resources? Not really, still has a lot. Seems like consciously queuing. Viper now also with the Navy, making a push happen up north. Fire has kind of not entered the game yet, I feel. Now it's the Quechua warriors, but those won't be great against the Navy.
It's been the biggest problem is, like, yeah, Goku and Bra are doing well down there in the south, but Viper is causing problems with topside. Goku has to deal with that, and Fire just isn't really having anything here to contest the naval force of Viper, and so it's kind of up to Goku to try to deal with it. And the Quechua warriors are here to help harass a little bit, and only now is he making some galleons. But, I mean, Viper has managed to pull the force of Goku back to deal with this, and this is going to give the Turtles of Keller some time to kind of mass up. The Dromans are out for Brew, but, I mean, I think Turtles win this in the long run, and it just...
Whiska's water's better than I thought, at least. But yeah, Keller's now full on to pushing in the middle, has trebuchets behind that, and a cannon galleon. Brew has nice naval base, though, kind of built towards the middle, so... Keller's turtles can't really enter the middle fight just yet. Lots of navy for Brew as well. Eventually those should mate to turtles though.
And this north side, the fight has gone really badly for Viper. The Quechuas supporting with all the the full army of Goku here is pushing Viper back quite a bit. Dromans being added on as well. Some camels did come into the mix from Terz, but they got wiped out pretty quickly. And I think you just need to see some more units being added to help support Viper. You can't 1v2 once Fire actually starts sending in some units. So, see how he manages to do it.
Porto's asking a good question. Are demos banned? No, and I actually think they would be viable here, especially seeing how Goku's ships are stacked up there. I think demos might be a bit underrated right now.
I've been saying this whole time, USAA had the recipe where you don't go full demos like you used to in old DM. But you do want to add in some here and there. We did have a big cav raid in the north side. We actually saw Fire dancing with his villagers to get that castle up for a little bit, if you caught it on my stream. But yeah, cav archers trying to raid in the backside. Viper trying to stretch Fire thin a little bit. But this massive water ball in the middle is causing problems.
Dromans also feeling like a decent counter to the turtle ships. Turtle ships stacking up a lot as well. Same point, kind of, but different unit. Kind of using that, and Dromans dealing good damage to multiple turtle ships. Keller not really getting out of his base. Sure, killed the castle. New one being made by Brew. Okay, now the turtle ship's making some more progress for Keller, but he's not really getting out there in order to help. And Viper feels kind of 1v2 in the middle. Where is Terz?
That is a good question. Is Terz? I haven't seen much slinging from Terz. I haven't seen much military. I mean, he has some paladins.
He received resources.
I don't really know what Terz has been doing. I mean, maybe he sent all of his units in at once with all his camels and just hasn't been able to rebuild since then. So it's not been looking great. There was a little bit of a raid on the side from Keller, but not much damage being done there. Turtles trying to push back. Does take out that castle in a really nice spot. So that right side of the water has opened up a little bit. But, I mean, we even see Fire and Goku.
3 navies in the middle for the Brazilians, and like half a navy for Viper, half a navy, maybe a fifth of a navy for Keller. Terz is trying to go onto water now. I think Terz invested too much on land at the start, right? And then the naval play by GoKu was just better.
I also think that Viper missed a chance to maybe do some damage to the base when Fire was looking pretty open and vulnerable. Like, it looked like Viper could have just wiped Fire off the map with the open and just not worried about water as much and hoped that Keller and Terz could handle the south side. But he decided to commit to water, and
is Brazil actually going to take this 3-1? Keller is making some progress in the south now. You have these civilizations winning Golden Stream. I mean, only one thing to say to Germany A, pick pool 4, but still, I'm surprised, man.
I mean, I feel like some demos mixed in here would be really good, especially against this little squadron before they spread apart. But yeah, Viper's been pushed back. Terz is pushed back to these castles. Dromans need to attack these castles, but I mean, Viper is still holding on. Trade is going up. So I mean, like, Germany's not out of it. And actually, we do see Keller looking pretty scary down here. There's not a lot on the field for Brew right now, actually.
Yeah, they do have a lot more trades, so the Brazilians really need the middle. It's only GoKu taking middle resources. Fire's completely out of gold. Brew has some still, but yeah, there is a possibility if the Brazilian can't make this double push happen onto Viper in the north, that they will crumble in around like 5 minutes time.
Yeah, I mean, there's no army on the field for Brew. He's trying to make some docks here now, but there's Korean halberdiers and champions in the base raiding the eco. And like, now that the turtle ships are starting to kind of get some flankings, we see Terz having added enough fires to push back the water. Viper surviving long enough and not really taking any serious damage and holding his units in reserve is going to be able to start pushing back. Now he has a massive army, has fire ships in the front to soak up some of this damage and take out some of the units. It's looking pretty decent. I mean, if Fire is still only really adding Guecha warriors, which like might be fine, but
they're trying to raid now. They're trying to raid now.
They're going for the raid.
And hi, Miguel. The real question is, why are you not playing for Brazil, though, right? Andy is Austrian, so he's playing for Austria.
Yeah.
That's a very easy explanation, but why are you not playing for the Brazil team?
And there's a little bit of a ground skirmish on the top side for Keller and Fire. Fire tried to push in with some siege a little bit.
Being surrounded by some cavalry. They're kind of on the trade, but I like this by Fire now that he's taking middle gold.
But now Fire's going to start having some problems with the Japanese at his base. The Trebs very quickly able to pressure some of this castle. A lot of repairs coming in for Fire. And, I mean, if Viper starts committing a little bit more heavily to land, I don't think there's a lot that Moise can deal with against the Japanese. We've seen before. In the middle, I mean, the turtle ships are massed up. They need to avoid the Droman shots. And so long as they don't get completely one-shot, and they're the demos from the Goths. So doing a lot of damage to these turtles. But, I mean, there's so many turtles here, and they're pushing back, and now the middle is being cleared up. Viper and Terz on the left side are clearing up these fires from GoKu, and the water is being won by Germany slowly but surely. You see the Dromans are going to cause some problems, though. And we actually do have 4 lumberjacks from Keller onto his opponent's wood line, building the castles forward, already thinking about a wood game, and is going to make a castle and try to raid the base of Brew and cause some problems.
Everybody trashing Germany A, that's when they start to play best, and that's where they might get this series back into their hands. They did invest into a trade. Maybe it was just a long-term strategy that was still superior in the end, but there's a lot of navy by GoKu coming in. If you've got fires in greater numbers, they might still overwhelm the turtle ships, especially with the Dromons behind. Kind of the best combo to beat turtles, and they're doing it. Castle should be helping out. Is there heated shot, actually? Yes, there is heated shot for Koreans, but it's firing at halberdiers.
The cannon galleons from Keller are very helpful here to snipe the Dromans, and that helps kind of even it up a little bit. And those
really good micro. Really good micro by Keller to micro the cannon galleons onto the Dromans. That's very hard with the range to have them not fire and miss the fires, but to hit the Dromans. Therefore, Keller wins that fight with superior water micro on the left side. Still, GoKu pushing strong. Fight for the middle is on. The castle by Keller feels a bit lonely, surrounded by 2 and the trebuchets of the Brazilians, and GoKu playing the game of his life on water here. He's always been a water enjoyer, I think.
So a few notes about the raids. We have those Guecha warriors we joked about before. They have up to 60 kills right now, and they're still alive, causing problems. Force a market deletion. On the right side, we have a war wagon raid to get some kills.
Terz underestimated the Guecha warriors, like we all did, man. Like we all did. Worst UU in the game, and then you see them carry over and over again. But
pretty solid
now
raids.
sending some
On the top
paladins.
side, Viper's pushing on the land, pushing into Fire's base, doing a lot of damage here and has a foothold. Same on the south side. Keller is also pushing into the base. Looks like they have kind of abandoned the water a little bit and are deciding to go for the home bases of Brazil.
Yeah, Fire might now be in trouble. He had influence on the game with that trade raid, but now it feels just really rough. What do you even do as a samurai with them? I mean, guess you have siege onagers, right? You have the Quechua warriors still. That's still what he's trying to do. Keller is establishing a bit more of a foothold on Bruce base, and suddenly both the flanks of the Brazilians seem to be in a little bit of a pickle.
Yeah, at some point also, Keller took out 130 villagers for GoKu. I don't know where that happened. Maybe it was that raid. Maybe it was the fight in the middle. Probably was the fight in the middle with all the villagers there mining gold. So, some good eco damage. But this is looking bad for Fire and the north side. Viper starting to really push in heavily. Castle on the south side for Brute does get cleaned up. So at least this push does get slowed down quite a bit. And the Goths might be able to reclaim their home island.
They will, but can the Muisca retain their home island? Terz now joining in there as well. With a mix of cavalry, having to mix in Hussar always feels a bit bad. But the trade should be up and going for the Germans again, so they kind of do not need villagers in the middle. For Chad saying that. And GoKu has 0 trade cards. He was fully invested into the middle. He surely still has the gold control there in the middle. It is theoretically a little bit better. But if the Brazilians ever lose the middle, then GoKu is kind of out of the game. And that's the downside of the middle gold.
But looks like Fire is losing his home island. The Viper's starting to creep forward with some castles. The Trebs and the Guechas were pretty solid until the
Skirms!
Yeah, you do see the Japanese
to counter
skirms.
the Guecha warriors. There's the true place, guys. If it's only Guecha, it works, right?
Yeah, only Guecha, right? Yeah, not even Temple Guards, not Champions, nothing else being added in. And so, but these Trebs are just causing so many problems. They're just right into the trade, and there's a castle immediately from Viper right onto the trade. And I don't think there's anything here to defend against this.
After the first 3 games, what were the odds for Viper joining for game 4 and saving Germany with skirmishers?
That was the until skirmishers. But hey, can't knock it when it works. The water is starting to be
well, the
gained
skirms
back
died now, so maybe the odds still too high. Forward cast is denied, so siege onagers saved here.
We do have the water in the middle starting to be pressured by both Keller and Terz. The fires from one side, the massive amount of turtles on the south side.
And if they lose that, Goku's out of the game. Goku has 0 food, he's only playing water. Can't even transition onto land, and if he loses his gold, then, well, his only income is wood. Yeah,
which is one of the reasons, I think, one of the problems that Fire has is that GoKu can't really support him when the fight's on the land. True. And unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be winning a 1v1 with these Civ matchups at this point against the Japanese.
Siege onagers are a bit stabilizing him, but Fire has no wood control. I guess it doesn't matter. He has 7k wood still, but that goes out quicker than you think, as Viper is chopping away the wood lines on Fire's Island.
I do like just the 2 random war wagons. Yeah, I do like the 2 random war wagons in the middle and some paladins being added just to harass these gold miners for GoKu, just pressure the only eco that GoKu has. And Terz taking a really good engagement on this top side. I think he has more ships with the Droman support as well. Those fires are going to force to be backed off for GoKu. And on the south side, Keller is unopposed here, taking out Goth Docks.
Demos!
And
Demos! They found them! Clearly clear thanks to demos.
Yeah, we saw a few demos earlier from Brew with the Goths, but now we see some being used against GoKu, and that is a huge engagement. So that's what I've been saying, is you add a few demos into these massive water fights, and they can just turn the tide so quickly.
They're ready for the wood game. Yeah, Chad is pointing it out. I just saw it because of Chad. Terz has 20k or is working towards 20k wood bank in order to make sure they never lose the wood game, as they were pretty close to that or they did lose the wood game in game 3, right? So now Terz is overcompensating for game 3.
But on the north side, this is looking even more and more dire. I mean, Viper continues to add Cav Archers against these Guechas, which is like, yeah,
Oh,
Cav Archers
Viper's
are
in the
great,
trade.
but he's in the trade. His Trebs are there pressuring the castles. He's going to probably do a forward castle shortly, and it's just not looking good for Fire. Bro,
Doesn't
trying
have the
to
stone
send some
right now.
resources over there.
That's massive damage. Guechas will eventually clear this, I believe. But in the middle, it's starting to look good, right? GoKu is now in that situation where he doesn't have anything to protect his middle villagers anymore. And without that, he is basically out of resources. Did he add some trade cards? No. 0 trade cards for GoKu. Once these villagers are dead, the pocket of Brazil is out of gold.
We do see the Goth champions showing up on the other side of the map, clearing up this Japanese army. So Brew showing up and helping save Fire on the land, but it might be too little too late. He might save Fire, but GoKu has lost his eco, and there's so many turtles in the middle that
Yeah,
not
no
even a whole bunch of
Koreans.
demos, not a bunch of Jeromans will deal with this. This is Korean Deathball is unlocked. There's a lot of transports too. That is a lot of transports. Keller has his hotkeys wrong.
Transports for the win as Germany in a very hard-fought game with Civ advantage on their home map. Has to be said, credit to Brazil for that. But Germany defends the match point and brings us to the best outcome if you're a viewer of the series. We're going game 5.
Yeah, that was. I think Brazil played that one way better than I think any of us kind of expected. They won water way better than we expected, and just the massive amount of gold mining taken in the middle by GoKu let him just continue to maintain his water, but no trades meant that at the end of the day, when he lost the water, couldn't continue on.
And they did that even while picking the Civ pool that doesn't have any Three Kingdoms Civ.
It's all about those Luchons. All right, that was Koreans, Japanese, and Byzantines versus.
I think that way
Goths,
meta joke was too hidden. You're always interrupting my jokes with gameplay anyways. Also, my fire hazard joke,
sorry.
you just talked over it with like Navy fights.
There's so much going on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but my jokes need air to breathe, man.
Well,
And we're not getting short
Germans in
games,
the
you know?
Brazil. Yeah, tell the Germans and the Brazils to not have as much action going on, you know? There's so many raids and so many fights everywhere.
Too good of a set.
It really is. And it's going the distance. The question is Viper going to play again? We have 2.5 hours until server maintenance, so I do not think we'll get there. There's a chance, but that is...
It's still 2 hours? Thought it's
2.5 hours, yeah.
Oh wow, they're doing it later than usual.
Maybe they saw us and were like, hey, we'll push it back a little bit. They saw that Viper showed up and they're like, yeah, we gotta have Viper.
Brew's a dev. Brew was like, okay guys, hold on, you can maintenance the server after I'm done with the set versus Germany. And he just went to the other office and made them push it back.
He just SSH'd into their into the prod database and was like, hold on, here's the update time. I'm gonna push it back a little bit.
If we look at the civilizations for Game 5 as we are heading to Outcrop, things are looking up for the German team though. Gujaras should be the superior pocket on Outcrop than Lithuanians in my opinion. And Teutons, the superior flank. Teutons and Japanese, the superior flanks. Compared to, well, Byzantines, Italians. Brazil is kind of out of civs.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of what happened with the... Yeah, no, I'm seeing the same. It's kind of what happens with Brazil going for that early, trying to get that early 3-0 victory with the early power civs being just used in the first two and three games. And it just kind of runs into the situation where Brazil wasn't able to manage their civ resources correctly for the full 5, and now they have to pay the price of having some arguably very weak civs against 2 mid-tier and a very strong one in the Gujaras. And I mean, there's disagreements about how Japanese might be lower versus higher tier, but I think the Japanese are one of the better team game civs. They just kind of always are a force to be reckoned with. And I think their best bet is to try to pressure the Teutons player before he can get going, but yeah, it's not going to look good for Brazil.
Maybe Japanese with a rush. Oh no, never mind. Japanese also on the German team. Game 5 has started. The all-important decider game, 1 minute left on the spec delay, and this amazing series will come to a conclusion either way. Will be Lithuanian pocket for GoKu, Italian flank for Fire, and Brew playing the Byzantines. So, not as if you think about Cavatros too much. Again, Keller with the Japanese, and it will be Gojara pocket and Teuton flank, logically Viper playing the Teutons, so the bit vulnerable Civ early on. If you want to support this tournament, there's a donation link in that command. All community funded, currently only $500, and I think with the level of gameplay here, that could be a bit higher.
Come on, Age of Empires, don't break on me. Okay, looks like it's gonna work for me. But yeah, and we have Viper and ShiXo playing. Viper, ShiXo, and Keller are going to be the ones trying to bring it home for Germany A. And then Brazil is, of course, the same three.
Terz benched for the decider game after he didn't have any gold left. Minute 10 last game.
Do you want to do flags again?
Right? Yeah, let's do flags.
Yeah.
I have done flags.
1 second. A little bit behind.
What I haven't done is refill my water, though.
Oh yeah, if you want to go grab that real quick, I can wait.
No, it's next to me, but I need to. Like, I'm actually drinking out of a glass. I know that's unusual for streamers, but.
Oh, I drink out of a glass.
Don't have one of those fancy big bottles.
That's probably healthier. All right.
3, 2, 1. Welcome to Game 5, decider game between Germany A, led by Keller's Japanese, and Brew's Brazilian boys. Will be Keller against Brew, captain battle in the south, Byzantines versus Japanese. That is bad news for Brazil, because Byzantines in Deathmatch tend to die to Cav archers, and what do Japanese have? That unit. On the other side, it's the Italians for Fire. Vulnerable Civ early on, no castle placed yet. There's the chicken castle facing the Viper. And Viper is starting with Paladin, something harder for the Italians to counter. A nice quick wall by the Viper. He's the Viper.
He is the Viper. I don't know why I expected anything else.
ShiXo in the pocket with the Gojaras, and GoKu on the other side with the Lithuanians. It's just funny. We always in the community gun tournament scene says he's the Viper when someone does a quick wall, and then it's actually the Viper. Well, I shouldn't explain jokes. What's happening in terms of Eco KD here? ShiXo actually got a kill.
Yeah, and looks like we do see Kondo spam coming in for Fire and trying to pressure an early push from the Viper to, slower Teutons. Might be able to find some damage, but against the Viper, very
Viper might lose another Civ. Well, under the TC! Oi, he's not the Viper. We were wrong.
No.
Not garrisoning the Will, even though it was getting to hit under the TC. Viper showing nerfs? It can't be, right?
I mean, he's also getting 2 kills himself, so he's also pressuring his
just
opponent.
Lost the third one. Fire beast. Fire suddenly beasting it in game 5. Perhaps. What's happening with the pocket rushes? ShiXo is trying to be aggressive here, as one should with camels, but castle is up for GoKu. GoKu only 5 stables, though, will be a bit low on army production. And ShiXo is a pretty good rusher. We'll find some damage here. No, doesn't quite finish off the villagers. Did actually lose 3 villagers at home to the paladins rushing forward. That's a little bit surprising. Keller taking some space on the right side.
Yeah, see some raids from Keller and from Bro. Bro has some camels on the south side to try to deal with any expansions, and the camels do catch off some villagers who are going to try to build some eco, and they're going to be able to deny that for a little bit, but the Cav archers on the side are, like you said, going to be the biggest problem for Brew to deal with. And yeah, just continuing to raid on this north side too for Terz, or for ShiXo, not Terz. ShiXo is the one raiding and just sending his camels all over the place. This is causing some problems. Has some camels in the base of Fire, has some camels in the back of the eco, has some camels even in Brew's base. He's all over the place.
Should get a village of Brew here. Gujara Chem is good at facing opponents' early armies. Not that great at sniping villagers with only +2 attack. Finds some kills onto Brew here though. And Keller is pressuring hard. Can he get the castle up? Onager shoots a villager. Onager gets shot. Castle is denied though as the last Onager shot gets the vill. Cavachers on the hill are a little bit of a problem. Siege Ram being the addition. So playing this more like Ram Siege also has the Arbalest to deal with the CA, but that doesn't really work with Japanese CA that well.
Yeah, it's even if they get some early damage here, I think just a mass of Cav Archers is going to be too hard for Brute to deal with unless he can get GoKu to come and help out. But the problem is there's a lot of damage being done on this north side. There was a huge raid in the back from Viper. Which, you know,
Oriko's making a good point. Oriko's making a good point. Paladin Pocket is not adding halberdiers against the Camel Pocket. That's a typical mistake. Should give ShiXo some leeway. And ShiXo has 20 eco kills, being very, very annoying with the Camel Pocket here. Standout game for ShiXo.
He heard you talking shit and was like, "Hey, I gotta show up." So he's playing very
freaking
well
Andy talking shit. Deflected from me, man.
Yeah, and I mean, Viper trying to build up a little bit, but hasn't pressured enough that he has low score, doesn't have as much army right now to really do so much pressure. I mean, he's pressuring on this kind of middle side from the hill, and now has pushed the left side attack back a little bit, so he's going to start causing the problems for Fire, and we'll see if Fire can withstand the snake.
Well, Fire should be able to... Theoretically, Fire should be good against snakes, I think.
Oh, Lightus coming in with the flank, trying to hit some of these Trebs, but they get cut off by the champions, and good reaction from the Viper, chases the Lightus away, and no damage being done to those Trebs, and Viper takes out a castle. Very nicely played from Viper.
Lightus should long-term be a problem for the Teuton store, right? There are armor bonuses everywhere, not really affecting anything, so need some Paladin in order to fight that, or like call ShiXo. ShiXo very busy raiding, not really aiming to help on the sides. Here come the Lighters. They are jumping onto the siege. That could be a good engagement for GoKu. It's a lot more army for Viper though, so shouldn't work out that well. A bit uncoordinated. Maybe Fire only fighting now. Viper will be pushed back a little bit here. Big shots though onto the Germans.
I mean, if Viper's going heavy Paladins, going into heavy Paladins into the Genoese Crossbowmen is going to be tough. You need to kind of see some other stuff being mixed in. We do see the Shravamsas being mixed in from ShiXo to try to deal with some of these Genoese crossbows. The siege, of course, from Viper is going to be the deciding factor.
Keller's on the hill, up on Brew's base, pushing from higher elevation. Brew might be in shambles here. Road is completely free to trade. Keller even already has some infantry knocking on the markets. And this is looking solid for Germany. Keller with the civ advantage, arguably, but also with a beastly performance against the opposing captain on the right side.
So we see the Lightus storming in from the middle, trying to help support. We also see the camels from ShiXo coming in to meet them. Yeah, camels are stopping from ShiXo. They're not attacking. They're waiting and watching.
Shots are solid into GoKu. Lightus kind of clumping up around the wood line. So Keller taking a good engagement there. Will lose the siege, but does kill a lot of these Lightus that were masked by GoKu. How are we looking on resources? GoKu should still be able to make some more. Here come the camels for ShiXo. You talked about their holdups, but they end up being there in time. And Gujara camels especially strong against the opponent's cavalry. Save the day, stabilize the army, but the traps are dead at least, so that's the only good news to tell you for Brazil, as the world is still burning on Brew's side of things.
Yeah, that corner is going to continue to be a problem for Brazil. They might be able to survive and hold off Keller on the south side, but if they can't reclaim any ground, they're not going to be able to set up trade in the north side. I mean, Viper's not really finding much damage here. He's trying to push into it. There's a lot of lights in the middle, raiding some eco, raiding some villagers, killing some random reinforcements here and there. But, I mean, Fire's
I don't
kind of
think
being pushed
Goku
back
is
a little
needed
bit.
in the middle. I mean, yeah, sure, the wood control is important, as we did see a wood game this series, but I feel like it's more burning on the flanks for Brazil right now, with Keller having this very forward position, trapping the castle in the right side corner. Now ShiXo there out to help as well, to secure against if more light is coming in, also helping against the camels of the Byzantines, and Viper is just doing a slow and steady push on the left side that also seems quite unstoppable by Fire, who is also about to lose his main base. So
Yeah,
the
it's
Germans at the start of the series might have played with Fire a bit, but might carry it home.
They played against Fire for sure. And they're playing against Fire's weakness right now, and the fact that Teutons are going to beat Italians pretty handedly long term. We do see a pretty massive lightest raid in the back, but a
I
lot of
keep
camels
trying,
from
guys. I keep
ShiXo
trying.
are there. I thought I played with your joke, but yeah.
You corrected the joke more than anything, I would say. But the camera just is surrounding the last Arbalest of Brew, and that will feel the Japanese bonus wrath, as Brew will be reduced to 6 army, and Keller is in amazing position to close a very, very exciting battle for the group stage win out in favor of the Germans.
Trying to follow through with the joke, but yes. Yeah, this is looking bad for Brazil. I think this is gonna get cleaned up on this right side, and the corners aren't going to get survived. Yeah, I think once Bruce starts losing his base, he's not gonna have any ground to kind of fall back.
Trap retreat! We need to set up in some other battle, my friends. It will be in the round of 16, maybe against another German team. I hope not. Brazil looks dangerous. Please don't give us Brazil.
Yeah, Brazil looks real dangerous. Be right back. I'm gonna go rig the brackets for that. But yeah, Viper's now
no. You don't get to rig me that bracket anymore after you ignored all my great jokes, Mojito. GG is called. Germany A with the almost reverse sweep, with winning, being a game behind, defending 2 match points, and with the better Civ spared on the back of that maybe a bit eco game 1 strategy, does get the job done and gets to a 3-2. Germany A closely winning the group. Obviously, by far not as dominant as Germany B, but Brazil gave a great fight to them, and it looked in no way certain for the Germans to take it. Were pushed to the brink in Game 4. Game 5, arguably a bit more on the dominant side for Germany.
Yeah, I think like you said, the eco rounds early on for Germany managed to pay off. As long as they didn't end up losing early, they were able to carry the better civs into the end and just kind of. I mean, the only real question here was, would Viper survive the Condo rush at the start? And it's a pretty easy problem for Viper to solve. And once he starts getting his Teuton Death Ball, there's no stopping him there. And then Keller just kind of dominated the Brew on the right side, and ShiXo was where he needed to be, sending in support, sending in all the raids. We see 63 eco kills for ShiXo, definitely making sure that Brazil couldn't support and couldn't rebuild it very easily. So well played from Germany.
Yeah, ShiXo played amazing. Like, ShiXo played exactly how Camel Pocket should play, playing fully onto the other pocket and the start. GoKu arguably adding habit is a bit too late. And then he followed the armies around, right? And then, for example, did that clear up on the right side. Did that just kick Mojito that someone clicked on the knocking thing? No.
No, I'm here. Did it kick me? It's weird. Yeah, someone wants to collaborate. That's weird. Decline that.
Only a misclick, but
no, from there, no worries. Share chat should still be there. Yeah. But yeah, that was a great set. Game 3 especially. I think that's the first full wood game we've had. I don't know if there's been one other than that, right?
There has been Netherlands-France Game 5.
Did that go to full wood to the point that there's no wood left? I know that went late.
That even went to the 0 wood on the map point, where the only
that's right.
wood on the map was water trade.
Oh, right. They had the water trade going. Yes. That's why I'm not thinking of it. But yeah, that was...
My take over for Netherlands, France. Yeah, Netherlands, France is close to this series. There's also Canada, UK, obviously, right? But the fact that we can't decide which is the standout series in the group stage already, and these sets have been insanely close, and also with some quite amazing plays like the Siege Tower Rattans, etc. Speaks for how much fun this tournament already has been, and we haven't even started the knockouts.
Yeah, it might be fun to try to like get a kind of a what's what I'm looking for, a combination of all the best games and or sets and put them in either like a single highlights video or something. But yeah, there's been some absolute stellar games, which just means that the playoffs are going to be even better.
Okay, all the Dutch players are promoting Netherlands versus France as still the best match of the tournament. Understandable. The French. Okay, watch the set, guys. It's on. Do you have a link to the TDM YouTube channel, Mojito? This might be a great time to post that in chat. There's all the previous series of DM Nations Cup are there, and yeah, I highly recommend Netherlands versus France and Canada versus UK. Those are and arguably France versus Switzerland, I think. Also, we forgot it a little bit in the meantime, but I think that's also a series we mentioned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's been some absolute banger sets. It's been some very fun sets, and we still have a few more deciders left.
Had to call it Norwegian. The players are entering chat right now. I have to read it. Brew, hi Brew, well played. Really, really good set. Unlucky for you guys. And Brew is saying they had to call it Norwegian. ShiXo is saying I was there. ShiXo, you played great game 5. Game 5 was great play by you. And I said only positive things about you, I think.
Yeah, game 5 was absolutely stellar domination from everyone. Keller dominated his side. ShiXo was everywhere he needed to be, continuously raiding. And Viper was slow but steady and just completely dominating his side alone.
Keller says, Idiot Captain made weird Civ choices. I don't know why he didn't pick Pool 4, man.
It's a misclick probably, right?
I mean, it's clear which German team has the better captain when it comes to drafting this tournament so far.